I want to get to know about the team. That's why they're here, so you guys can get to know a little about the squad, how they formed, and what their play style is. Let's start off with who the IGL is on this squad. Put your hand up, speak up for the IGL.
It's going to be me.
Hundreds.
All right, Hundreds. Let's go. Let's hear it. How'd you guys form? How long have you been together?
We've actually only been playing for like a month. Like, seriously, before that, we were just kind of looking for something to do outside of playing ranked and casual play. And I'm mostly started off as like a content creator. I wasn't really trying to compete, so it was all just for the heck of it. We started playing a bit together. It turns out we were pretty decent, so we were like, hey, you know what, let's try to get more into these tournaments and such. So we ended up, it was just me and Stink at first, and then we just kind of were looking around. Casellos ended up being somebody we were interested in, so that ended up happening there.
Let's go into your guys' play style a little bit. Stink, start with you. What character is everybody playing, and what would you say is your team, more aggressive or more passive or passive-aggressive?
I would say we're a bit passive-aggressive. We're aggressive when we need to be. We've switched our comp a couple times. Hundreds is on Wraith. I'm Bloodhounds. Casellos is on Watson. I'd say we're probably passive-aggressive, just aggressive when we need to be.
Okay, so Casellos, what do you feel like the conversation is between having Watson or Gibraltar? Is that something that you guys have talked about? Because it's kind of interesting. When you have that Watson, you're not able to take the dome fights. You're not able to play edge as much, but you do have the peace of mind of knowing that you can hold the inside of a circle. What would you guys say is best for you guys with the Watson?
As in what comp we should run with the Watson?
Yeah, what do you guys feel like, why Watson over Gibraltar here?
Because the way we like to play is we don't like to take fights really unless we have to, and with Gibby, I feel Gibby makes you, he's built around taking fights, and that's just not what we like to do. We like to be in zone early, which is what Watson's good for, and Gibby, I would say, is not good for early.
Yeah, you're going to have some sort of defense if you're going to be over there, playing with that type of play style, so I completely understand. Now,
yeah,
Hundreds, you're talking about the content creation thing. I've seen you guys all in the kill feed. I've been actually playing with Hundreds a couple of times.
Yep.
What's it like now to have a full team, Hundreds, that has a goal in mind, and what are your guys' goal for Series E?
I'm a little bit older, so for me, the idea of competing was kind of, I guess it was out there because you're not sure if you can keep up with all the young guns nowadays and such. So I think we were just kind of interested in figuring out if we want to play a certain type of meta, or if we were interested in trying out something new or something flashy. So when we were going into these tournaments, we were just kind of we were winging it a lot. Not gonna lie, like we were actually winging it. But then, a few tournaments in, and you just get excited. Like the rush gets to you, and now we're actually like looking at all of these things, looking at VODs, looking at what we're doing wrong, what other teams are doing right. The recent switch in our composition was actually because of that. We were like, hey, there's holes in our play style, in the way that we succeed or fail. So we're trying to be very dynamic, and I think when you're a content creator, you just pick that legend that works for you, right? Someone that's just gonna get you as many kills and look flashy on stream. But now it's not that anymore. We're not trying to be flashy. We're just trying to be consistent.
Trying to win. I like it. Stink, how much are you
Yeah.
guys practicing? It seems like Hundreds is talking about VOD reviews. What's your guys' kind of day to day? How often are you reviewing VODs? And, you know, how much are you playing on maybe say a day or a week?
I would say together we play tourneys, and then for a couple hours after the tourney, we VOD review. We try to get into scrims as much as possible, but some scrims, you know, not as great practice as they should be. But yeah, we run some ranked. That's pretty much it. I would say we play 6 hours a day together, or together
a
for 6 to 8 hours a day.
That's a decent amount. Casellos, have you been playing Apex since the beginning, or did you kind of come in at a later time?
I have been playing Apex since the release of the game. Yes.
Nice. And are you on that same boat? Are you putting in, you know, extra time? Or are you kind of only playing with the squad, or how do you feel about that?
I play with the squad every like they said, every tournament we play together. We try to run ranked casuals as well after. I'll pub, because pub just feels like it keeps your aim warm, so I try to do that. And then after tournaments, we will all sit in a Discord call and talk about issues, that what we could do better, what we did bad, stuff like that.
Dope. Hundreds, how has that affected your stream? Are you streaming throughout this entire process? Are you keeping the comms, you know, available to your chat so they know what's going on with your team? What's that been like for you?
Oh man, the transition was rough because you know the switch to competitive schedule. It's not so much my schedule now. Now it's about, you know, the tournament schedules. So it was kind of rough, and I think overall everyone's excited. Everyone in the stream and just my community as well has been very excited to like see the transition because they like seeing the big names, and I think that was the whole part of playing ranked. The exciting part was running into those tier 1 players and such, and now you get to fight them in lobbies together.
Yeah, I mean, not just that, obviously doing extremely well. How do you guys think that you're going to do once you get into Series E?
I mean, obviously we're trying to win it. I would say our goal would be top 5, you know, do really well, make a name for ourselves. That's pretty much what we're trying to do here, is just show that we can compete with all these really great players and that we can hang.
Yeah, and we saw it in the ALGS, right? Did we make it coming through and winning back-to-back games there? They haven't gotten any type of respect up until then, like the other big teams and the big names.
Yeah.
And for me, that proved to me that anybody can go and do this. I know that there's a lot of talented players out there. There's a lot of talented teams out there. And I feel like we have them all here at Series E.
Series E.
Series E.
Series E. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are for week number 2, and it is day number 2, and so that means we've got all the pros in as well. I'm James Jamerson Lee, or, well, the disembodied voice of James Jamerson Lee, and you can see right up there. My screen is frozen because that's a picture, but joining me is, of course, the ever-handsome Tom T Squared Taylor. Tom, how are you doing tonight?
I'm just going to, maybe if I just stood still and didn't blink, I could have made sure everyone's computer thought they were frozen. Hold on, let me try.
Well, we've got a lot of action, so that's going to be a lot of freezing there. But yeah, we got 8 games ahead of us here for Pringles week, and it's already being explosive. And so I'm super excited to see, you know, it's only been a week, but have our teams, our partner teams, been able to improve in the last week?
Yeah, and today's going to be awesome because we know that Season 7's coming out in, well, about 2 or 3 hours. So it's the last time everyone gets to play Season 6. There's a lot of gun changes that are coming down, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of pride be on the line here to see who's the best Season 6 team. I know that everyone's going to want to come hot, but everyone is definitely focused on playing and waiting to play on Olympus because it's going to be such a good time. Apex is going to be blowing up right now.
Yeah, it's about establishing your drop spot right now early on. Now, it's the world's first, of course, tip pred, which is going to be always fun to watch. Just a couple more hours before that drops. But while you guys wait, of course, for Season 7 to come in, we do have our pro night. And so we've got teams like LG, Navi, Rogue, TSM, NRG, CLG, so many, and Team Liquid. There we go. I almost missed them. And Third Impact coming in. So this is going to be always a fun night. We got to see last week, though, that there is definitely a difference in skills so far, difference in preparation for a lot of these teams. I mean, you talked to Team Pringles. We saw that video just beforehand, that you have to approach these games much differently.
Yeah, but I really think that all of the partner teams did very well yesterday. They were all on the left side of the leaderboard, which means they were all within the top 10, and the competition was pretty high. Yeah, it wasn't organizations coming through, but we still had some amazing teams over there. SIZ was looking good. Amosys was looking good. There was Two Brains, One Controller was inside there. I think there was another team that had Z Davis on it. So, Z Davis's team Crafting did very well yesterday, getting, I think, inside the top 3, if not second. So it was a fantastic job by a lot of these teams yesterday, but definitely the partner teams were looking strong. Razor continues to impress. Intel's over inside the top 5 typically, so we'll see where they land. They've been getting contested at Sorting Factory a lot consistently, so I'm not sure, and we see on our map right there what's going to happen, because Rockstar has been getting contested. The team that's been actually reaping the benefits of all of these fights has been Pringles, because they're landing on the bottom. They're safe. Nobody's over at Dome, and they could just go and third party whatever they want or continue to loot up and just take their time.
Yeah, there is always the worry of the Sentinels rotation coming down to the south or something, but we are getting ready for game number 1 here. And so I'm super excited to see how things shape up. Last week, our top 3 were Team Liquid, TSM, and Sentinels. And Team Liquid barely won by 3 points. TSM coming at 103. But that's interesting, you know, across an 8-game set that we had 2 teams going over 100 points. Ooh, Third Impact getting into a fight early on.
Yeah, let's try to hop on board with them, because we are on board with Pringles. They're not contested, but it looks like Third Impact and Cheez-Its are going at it. So we're going to have to find out what area that's going to be and who's going to win this fight. It's going to be at the bottom of Epicenter right now. Amaze is going to hit a nice grapple, but there's 2 players down. Jazaz is going to get a couple, but those nice massive shots are going to connect. Somehow that player is going to live, and the angle comes through by Balan. And I really thought the Gibraltar lived right there. Apparently the knock came through, but that's going to be Cheez-It going down early to a Revenant team. And they're going to be really getting confident here in this ever-ending battle over at Lava City. Team Rockstar pinging on the opposite side of Lava City, trying to get, which most likely is going to be cooler. But the armors are looking good, Jamerson. And they have the weapons to fight this. Nice 68 grenade across the map coming in from Crummy.
Yeah, they have a
Liquid's
decent
in a fight as
crossfire
well.
setup as well currently.
Yeah, Liquid's in a fight too, so we have a lot of fights going on. This is going to be Dracos, E-Boy, Ronnie, and Nestle Pure Life. So let's see what's going on with Nestle Pure Life and Liquid, if we could jump on over to that fight, because there's knocks on both sides. Ronnie just got Alberlily down, so that means they're going to have Nocturnal and Flanker that are alive. So as soon as we're able to switch on over there, we will, and see what's going on with that fight, because Rockstar looks like they're slowing down a little bit. Let's try to get Nestle Pure Life going and Team Liquid.
Yeah, we did see, of course, this fight sometimes taking a really long time to conclude. Nestle Pure Life now over here by Tree and Liquid. Of course, things have slowed down themselves. Aim assist, Dracos doesn't have any armor, and it's Bambito that gets just dropped upon right there and gets flanked. There was, you saw also as well, one on top. And so Nestle Pure Life, they're just going to go ahead and back away off of this. They lost the Watts, and we'll see if there's an opportunity for them to try and get that banner.
So there's 3 different fights that are happening right off the rip when we go into this map from now on, and we'll see if they change up what's going on. But that's tough, because you had both players down on each side. It was a 2 versus 2 for Nestle Pure Life and Liquid. And it's funny, yeah, you have the water going up against the liquid, so it's pretty interesting to see how that one's going to pan out. But they're going to big dip over here, not even have the banner, and do a wide flank. I wonder if Team Liquid's going to be chasing these guys, or if they're just going to set up. Meanwhile, TSM in a fight over towards Sorting Factory. I wouldn't doubt if that's going to be Team Intel over towards the roof.
And it's looking like, of course, the ring is starting to pull down towards the center of the map right now, as TSM, they're just sitting from the far as, oh, there's a knock onto Sentinels. And so Retzi going down, getting instantly thirsted. Now TSM want to get involved in this. You have to imagine that damage was traded, as Imperial Hal doing so much himself. There's Senox, and now TSM climbs the building here to continue to push up.
This is Team Applejacks. I believe that's going to be Lion inside the building with his team, and Klane's going to be inside as well. There's the knocks coming in from both sides. TSM going to take down 2 players. Meanwhile, you did have, I think, a Pringles fight going up against Rice Krispie Treats. Stink got a knock as well. As we switch on over, there it is. You're going to see Team Pringles inside that bubble right there. That's going to be Rice Krispie Treats Bird getting the knock onto hundreds. Meanwhile, you're going to have some healing coming through on the other side. Casella's going to have to relocate. I do like the angle being taken, but he's going to get ripped from the side. Bird with 2 knocks now and Stink the last guy alive on this Pathfinder. He's not even going to be able to get out of here. Yeah, he does have the grapple, but looks like he's going to go and try to take the fight instead. Maybe it's going to be a one-on-one, maybe a one-on-two. I think a couple cells, no batteries, which is tough. And he's just using these knockdown shields right now, back and forth. He does get into the fight and does finish it. Nice job there by Stink. It was just a 1 versus 1, so Pringles lives to play on. There's intel over towards the side. They landed probably away from Sorting Factory. Meanwhile, everyone's setting up on this side. Jamerson makes me think that this is where the end circle is going to be. This is a ballsy play from Team.
Yeah, we saw the green circle coming in, and everybody's already rotating on in. We saw, of course, TSM make their typical timing, where I think they were a little bit slower, but, you know, take your time. You just wait for the fights to happen. You start taking advantage of the third party right now. Intel are considering contesting this building so far. It's kind of interesting. You never really see a team camp a door for this long. But yeah, right now, things just slowing down.
Yeah, that's pretty risky just to go and sit right there. And I'm wondering what the plan's going to be. I mean, is there going to be a thermite that comes through, or... I like the play from Tempest, though. Sneaky little play behind the wall. Hits a lot of damage. Knocks Fat Fruit Ninja and Blighty. Team Intel going to go and mop this building, which, if this zone does end over here, this is by far the best building to go and lock down. So now, Farmer Luke is going to dip out of here and just try to rat it out. But I wonder what went wrong right there. They kind of just poked without looking around in their back, and Tempest with a really nice play on Watson.
Yeah, it looked like the defensive bombardment was used, and then they tried to push out from the building from there, but that lurk was massive coming out from Tempest. You saw basically just one clipping the Gibraltar running outside, and so Team Intel are going to be pretty happy in this position, and I believe, yeah, the zone should be pulling down here. We saw the southern border basically going down towards launch, and then the second ring, the green ring, also basically hugging that. So it should be a sorting factory ending. It's all about positioning at this point, as we're already down to 15 squads with 41 players remaining. We know that a lot of teams are still trying to recover at this point, but one team that is super happy now, of course, being able to pick up a full team's loot. Oh, and they've got another team ahead of them right now. Hill is going to be the first man pushing on up. There is another Gibraltar in the way, and we've got the caustic trap set up. Does Hill really want to try and go for this push? Thermite is out.
If he throws that thermite, it's most likely going to set off the caustic barrel as well. So there they shoot the barrel instead, and looks like only a 2-man in here, but caustic almost counts as 2 players in these type of instances. There's a thermite. He goes to use it when both players come over towards the door. Those guys are going to go out towards the back, but Teen's not even in the vicinity to fight this one. He has to take a wide flank, and they do have multiple caustic barrels over towards the side. So an Arc Star would be nice, but there's Teen coming through, and Tempest played this very well last time, but the longer this fight goes on with the caustic, the more likely you're going to get third party. So you're going to have to fall back and pick a spot where you're going to go and maybe set a portal if you're Teen. Set up towards the building over towards the side, or maybe take the roof on what he's doing right now. But it's so hard to push a caustic, and it's so annoying that makes it tough to go and do this.
They look a little disjointed. You got Teen on the roof here, we got one on the low ground and one Tempest on the other side. So they think, of course, they did see it was just a 2-man. They didn't see a 3rd man in there. That maybe 2 was just enough, of course, as we have Team Rockstar now finally making their rotation on over. They've got control over the bridge now. There's a team underneath. I wonder who that is. As right now, Rockstar with all purple armors. They've got the triple take as well to try and get up to red. They're sitting in a pretty good spot here, controlling the eastern edge of the map.
I wish we had a scan on... Ooh, nice 120 right there from Pickett. But I wish we had a scan on where the 4th zone's going to be right here, or whatever 3rd zone. And we'd be able to see exactly where the sorting this is going to be. But the toilet, or whatever you want to call it, donut, is going to be a pretty powerful spot to lock down right now. If you have a Watson especially, I feel like that's where I'd be setting my team up. But Team Razor is so far on the outskirts that it doesn't really matter. They're going to continue to play the edge right here and just look for fights. Right now, Hakulo walking through defensive bombardment. That's going to be cool where they gets knocked. 2 members. Crummy finds one as well. So that's a quick wipe on all 3 players, and the body disrespect continues between these 2 teams. These
Just
guys were dropping
chasing
on
them
each other
down.
every single time last week. If you didn't see, it was Lava City 50-50 every single time.
Yeah, just finishing the fight, as some would say here, as Team Intel. They are on the western edge, and so this is a gamble. We don't know where the next ring is going to go. But with the fact that the lobby is down to 14 teams, there is a lot more room for rotations. It's not as dangerous if they need to move. There's plenty of cover to try and maneuver around here in Sorting Factory. Of course, they did use that Wraith portal just earlier on, but they'll have it soon enough at this point. And so things will slow down for now. We're kind of used to a lot of early game action. Sentinels were actually able to recover. We saw, I believe it was Senox getting thirsted, and so they got out of dodge. They were able to get the res, it looks like, over here, possibly by Geyser, all the way on the eastern side. Now, they've got a team on their sights.
They're going to have to continue to get lucky, because if you're not in a power position yet, then you should have been already scraping teams up on the side and leveling up your Evo armor, etc. The good thing is they're playing Pathfinder, so they may be able to get some cheeky spots, maybe get some height or a spot that they wouldn't typically get. But we're seeing some nice map movement here from Crummy as he makes his way over towards the top and the roof while the other players stay on the ground. Crummy's going to try to entry frag here, and he does a really good job of infiltrating these buildings. He has to be careful though, so he's running around, checking all of his angles, making sure he's not taking any necessary damage from the back. And there he does, take a little bit of a shot. That's going to give that player's spot away, which means that shot probably wasn't even worth it, because now he knows exactly where they're going to try to do and peek shoot. So I like this play. His teammates are just watching his back. He has a gold armor. All he's trying to do is bait these guys out right now, and now Pickett's going to come in with the reinforcements.
Of course, he can always queue if he wants to, but with the Prowler in hand, Pickett is trying to take control of this building. He's getting pushed now, but massive shots coming in, and Matt Pickett gets the first knock onto Nocturnal. It's going to be Team Rockstar in a 3v2 now. Matt Pickett still controlling the high ground, as now the rest of the push is coming in. There we go. Rakanishu with the early bubble on, getting aggressive, took some damage here with the Mastiff, and with the pinch, it looks like they should be able to finish this off, but TSM's Albralele goes down now. Now it's all up to Flanker, and he will fall. Team Rockstar, they've gotten 2 team fights win now, and this is a huge position for them to be in. They do have to be careful, quite possibly maybe a team coming in from Geyser, but it looks like they will be able to recover as Sentinels are in a fight with Third Impact.
So funny that it took this long for people to realize the Prowler has and always will be broken on burst fire. You can go and just rip someone, just like Pickett did, and the other team doesn't stand a chance, especially when you get up close against a controller player like Pickett. He's one of the best Prowler players in the game. You saw it right there. No gun has a faster kill time, and it's just a couple of bursts and boom, you're dead. You don't stand a chance. You can't even get a second massive shot off sometimes unless you have a purple bolt, so you really can't do anything in that instance besides, you know, hope and pray that Pickett's going to miss some shots, and he didn't right there. So that was a great job by Crummy to bait those guys out first off, and then secondly, Pickett to take the perfect timing flank and take down one of the better teams in this lobby. So the rotation coming in for Team Razor, you know how far they were, and they're still going to have an uphill battle, but look at that R301. Gold barrel stabilizer, purple mag, red dot. Holy cow, that thing's stacked.
400 ammo. He can spam for days if he wants to as well. We saw Razor, of course, making that rotation all the way on down here to the south. And so we're seeing a lot of teams start making these rotations. But right now it is the ring pulling up to the north, as it looks like it's going over towards the bridge east of Sorting Factory here. And so Team Razor have a number of options. If they want to, they can wrap all the way over towards Lava City as we join Team Pringles. We're controlling the southern side of this ring. There's still a lot of possible late game finishes here, but it's about the mid game right now. Hundreds spotting one out. They've done some damage and they got them pinned down, as we see both the Wraith and that Pathfinder just getting out, but the Wraith is left by himself. Hundreds is trying to hunt him down, spots him, but he does find the cover of the rock. The pings are coming in. Casellos, and now Hundreds on the hunt. It's going to be a 2v1 as they pinch him from either side, and that's going to be an easy kill, hopefully, but Hundreds took a lot of damage. There we go. Going to be able to get that knock, finish them off.
And that was going to be CLG over there, too, so nice job by Pringles working together right there, and staying inside of this one. The good thing for them is they can stay on the ground and gatekeep, watch their back, and still be a little bit in the zone. And World's Edge is really designed so well that even if you're stuck, you have so many rocks to work around. Madness that was doing a really good job, but look at that. It's going to be Crummy going down to Mercy's triple take. Now Razor going to try to take this high ground away from them. Zeratricky gets completely ripped, but climbing up there is a little bit risky, and you're going to take a lot of damage, so I think they're just going to end up slow playing this one and try to wait for some more initial knocks. But these is two of our better teams in terms of our partner teams. Team Razor going up against Team Rockstar.
Rockstar were able to get the fast res, but the bubble has gone down. Is not going to get the fast heals anymore. Oh, they've lost Mr. Aculo now. It's Matt Pickett able to clap back onto them. A 1-for-1 exchange so far brings it down to a 2v2. The thirst is there onto Rakinishu. Zeratricky will have the armor swap for his team to allow them to stabilize now. Matt Pickett, though, once again with that Prowler. Now he's got the full auto to work with as well. They don't want to drop down into this. Crummy has to heal up himself. They do have a crossfire set up.
Gonna have to nade
as
this.
soon as they've gone full
Nade
heals. It's gonna be a 2v3.
Nade it. You have 2 frags, Crummy. That's so easy. If he just chucks a couple of grenades down there, he's going to be in such a good spot. I'm not sure if there's a generator down there. I don't think there is. Either way, still get the knock on to Hakulo. And they don't even have a Watson, so Crummy just going to save his nades, and playing up top towards the high ground seems to be working. Unfortunately for them, Rakinishu did get thirsted, and there's not going to be any opportunity to get the res off of him because the circle is going to be so small. But should be an easy clap for these guys as they come through and drop at the same time. Nice job by Team Rockstar taking their time. And again, Matt Pickett with the Prowler is nothing to be messed with. He's unstoppable with it.
Yeah, it's actually pulling away now. The ring is to the north as we're down to 8 squads, 18 players. So a lot of teams are hurt at this point. A few of them, of course, still full 3. As you can see, LG is controlling that donut building that you were talking about earlier, but they've got the ring information for us. So a bit of that high ground just to the east of Sorting Factory is going to be in play. You can see there is a team set up currently inside the blue boxes right now. That might be TSM.
Nice shot.
We'll see in just a moment. Is LG. They're eyeing them ahead of them. The portal is already set up as well. Rugby found them a nice place to work with cover. But the problem here is that, of course, they don't have a Watson. This is a Watson-less composition. So if the nades come in, they will be forced out of that spot.
Not too bad, though, because you're going to have Caustic in the end game if you're able to do so. But it looks like they're sending some pings down somewhere else. I don't know what the plan is going to be here. So once everyone realizes, once this zone closes, how good of a spot LG is going to be in, they're going to get contested. But I love the way that they're playing this one. They're just continuing to work together, finding different spots where they could play. And not a big deal if Rugby goes back to that portal because he's still going to be in the zone on that opposite side. So it's Na'Vi locking this area down. And they predicted this one very well. Not a lot of kills on the board here for Nesh, but doesn't matter. Max Strafe over here with the red Evo armor, so they're looking pretty healthy. And I love that grenade right there in the corner. Like you said, no Watson over there for LG, but 2 of our EU teams finding themselves in the final zone here.
Yeah, and I love, of course, that zip being set up as well, so they'll have that extra jump. Don't have to go into that climbing animation to try and take the high ground. Max Strafe will go ahead and play the scout for his team. His team Pop-Tarts just down to Farmer Lucas here. He will get finished off. And now we are down to our top 5 squads. LG still playing the southern side here, so they're still in a great spot, currently dropping down to the low. And they'll be able to recover this loot. As I'd like to take a look around. We might have 1 more rat remaining in this lobby. We got LG, of course. We saw Na'Vi. They're controlling the containers currently. Sonya doing a good job with this Caustic, throwing down the barrels early on so he can try and, of course, get more of them back on cooldown with a good spray on that hip fire. Cracks red, and now LG have turned the tables. Na'Vi might lose their spot. It's all EU up in here as Third Impact get involved in this as well. Team Intel as a full 3 as well are able to sneak in through all this action.
Yeah, and Team's going to have Portal here very soon, so if they need to get a desperate Portal in, that's going to be great. But this Caustic gas is going to be deadly for Team LG if they're able to get this down. You can see all of the Watson traps have been destroyed within the vicinity. There's still a team holding the outside fence area, but Intel's weaseled their way in. found themselves in a good position. We know they've been in sorting for quite some time. Here's the fight going on with LG. Like that play from Rugby to get out of there, hit the Q, reset up. Plenty of resources with the Phoenix, but they have such a powerful spot because of this climb up here. They can just go and wall glitch the entire time. Team with some fantastic shots playing the high ground, but he's going to have to drop down. Takes a lot of damage. Love the way all these teams are playing this one. Intel's played this the correct way, coming in sneaking behind all the teams. LG's been playing this one phenomenally, holding the outside of sorting and on that fence. So it's really going to come down to these two because they have that high ground.
Yeah, and I believe Navi were just taken out before this. We're down to the top 4 squads, as in this ring, there's still a lot of playable areas. It looks like, of course, Blue Bins is in the south position, very close, but they might have to come out. The Watson trap already put down. I don't know if Tempest was able to pop another Ultimate Excel for this to get prepared. So if we can swap it over to him, see exactly
he did.
What we have. Okay, so he was able to pop that Ultimate Excel, which is going to be massive. So if that Watson generator does go down, they'll be able to pop another one here as Hill tries to get proactive. Bubble is forced out early on. He's not going to be able to really connect with that massive. Just backs away to his team, poking and prodding and not overcommitting to anything right now because they have one of the best positions currently in this game.
All they have to do is try to force these other teams into one another by pressuring and having presence over towards the top. So what Team's doing is perfect. I like the way Hill's playing this as well. And there's no reason for your Watson, who doesn't have as good an armor as the other two, to go and make any type of crazy plays. So his job is just to continue to pop those ult excels, set up fences whenever they go and disappear, and make sure that you're not getting hit with any defensive bombardments or caustic ults. That's the key. So everyone really playing this well. Everyone playing it patient. Now we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty as this zone's going to come down to the final one.
And you're seeing excellent usage of the ordnance to make sure that they cannot just climb up onto them. And so they are, of course, trying to funnel the other teams into each other right now. Bubble coming out early on from third impact, but Jazaz is so low right now. Team Intel have tried it away during all of this, as right now Intel are down to the 2. They back away, and now they are slowly getting choked out here. Tempest goes down. It's all up to Teen trying to use that Q to stay alive, and he will for now. It's the top 2, and it looks like LG will finish this one off, taking game number 1.
It's exactly what they needed to do. Just wait for that caustic ult to come in, and really perfect execution the entire time. It was unfortunate that Team Intel had to go and fight right there. I think they were just trying to hold teams off, but when you have the best spot, that's exactly what happens. A team's going to come into you. They think that's the winning spot, and you know, Team Luminosity is going to just take advantage of that. Again, having that caustic towards the end game is great, but the way that they were able to play that, coming in from that toilet side, slow playing the ledge, getting on over towards the wall, and the perfect caustic barrels and zoning out was exactly what you need to do, and I love to see them execute that.
Yeah, and it was a lot of teams just were able to, of course, recognize that zone, move into position early on. And again, I think it also came down to just so many teams going down early on and in that mid game that left a lot of space open for these teams to get into position there. And so that was a great team fight ultimately, and great macro decisions coming out from LMG. Getting that caustic into the late game is so good. But that's game number 1. We'll see if we do have, of course, the stats from game number 1. I think, you know, we were able to get some really awesome stats from our, I guess, Pro-Am night? I don't know what we're calling Tuesday nights here at Series E, where we have the invite teams.
It's like an open night?
Open quality. Yeah, the open night. Open mic night coming in.
Yeah, there you go.
So, yeah, these stats that we've been able to receive so far across multiple tournaments has been amazing to try and break down.
Yeah, it has. I think we're going to have the stats after this game. We're going to go to a quick break, and then we'll be right back.
Stack Pringles flavors. Make new ones.
How much do you think Pringles paid these people?
Hardly anything. Hey, you guys want to stack different Pringles flavors to create new flavor combos? Here, I'll go first. Pizza, barbecue, and jalapeno. The spicy barbecue pizza stack. Get him!
Grandpa, what's going on?
Pringles. We're trapped in a Pringles commercial. They must have taken us in our sleep.
How can we get out?
We can't, Summer. They warned me this would happen, and I didn't listen. Stack Pringles, make endless new flavors. Stacking Pringles to make new flavors. Make endless new flavor and barbecue, wavy, and sour cream and onion equals a 3-layer dip.
Welcome back to Series E, guys, as we are getting ready quickly into game number 2. It looks like our competitors are ready to speed run the night because we are all super excited for Season 7. Tom, what are some of your favorite changes coming into Season 7?
Really, everything. The R99 coming back is my favorite thing. I needed it to be on the ground loot because that's my crutch. That's the only reason that I've ever been Predator in my entire life. No, but I love that that's coming back. I can't wait to see if they put the PK back on the ground loop, but I will definitely be rocking Wingman R9 or R9 Mastiff the entire time. I love the Pathfinder changes. Those were the two things that I really enjoyed playing. I was a big Pathfinder player, and I love just flying on people with a Mastiff, love flying on people with an R9, but the new map, Olympus, is going to be amazing. Trident, running around on the Tridents and just having some fun on those is going to be cool. I can't wait to just see the colors and the way that it plays and all the points of interest and how the loot is. All the gun tweaks are going to be great that we're seeing. I think the Hemlock getting a little bit weaker is going to be great. The Prowler getting vaulted is going to be really good for the game too, because we've just seen a clinic from Matt Pickett on how to go and use that one. So we're gonna throw up the leaderboard here pretty soon, but it is gonna be updated as we go through it. And we know that Luminosity was coming in swinging. 29 points is fantastic, Jamerson.
That's a massive, massive game number 1, especially when we have 8 more games to go. If they can be even remotely consistent, get into the top 5 every single game with the number of kills, they're going to be in a good spot right now. But what I like to see, of course, we were able to talk about Team Intel being able to survive, even though in that last circle, they took a lot of damage early on, lost a lot of people, lost a lot of bodies. They're able to scrap into the top 2 with Third Impact, also tying them at 15 points.
Yeah, and of course, again, this is going to live update. It's not possible for that many teams to have 0 points because everybody goes and gets 1 placement point once they go and get over towards the top 15. But again, LG played that phenomenally. I thought Intel played that phenomenally. Rockstar wasn't doing too bad. Third Impact was in there too, but I just love the way that LG, again, went over towards where I would have put my team to go and hold because, again, there's so many different endings over towards that backside that it's really good. But also Na'Vi will put themselves in a really good spot too. Again, the problem is when you go and take the God spot, you're always the center of attention, and people want to go and get you out of there for a number of reasons, and they just don't want you to win comfortably and get all of these kill points. So that's exactly what happened, and LG just kind of let all of that happen over towards the side while they hid, took some head glitches, and then were able to get free picks on the teams that were fighting over towards the blue containers.
Yeah, and we did see a lot of early game scrapping. Third Impact, of course, taking that fight up north. We got the fight up to the southeast in Lava City as well. And so it looks like the contests are going to continue to happen. Our EU representatives here for Series E really shaking up the lobbies. And we get to see the kind of impact it actually has on a lot of these teams, slowing down their rotations, not being able to get the exact position they want in the first and second circles, making it difficult for the rotations. But let's go ahead and take a look. This is where we ended basically in our game number 1. This is Intel's drop with Tempest, Hill, and Teen. Man, this is a roster that just has so much competitive experience. Say what you will. Like sometimes you need to take breaks, and like I think Hill is like the number 1 most retired player, but he keeps coming back, and he always forms like such a good roster when he does.
Better change that graphic. These guys are landing over towards Thermal Station now, which is not even close to where Sorting Factory is. So we'll get that one updated. But I think this is a smart play. Sorting Factory is already contested. 3 out of the 4 days in Series E so far, once we started, they've been contested. And now they're actually getting some sort of loot and able to work together. So the way that they've landed over towards the thermal side makes me think that there is another team over here. You don't just land on the outskirts like this. You typically land in the middle and spread out, or you have that whole backside to go and play. But instead, they're going to try to trap the team that probably landed over towards there down below. We'll see what their loot pathing is, because I feel like these crates are going to be open down low. If they're not, I'm not sure what the plan is from these guys.
Clean sweep coming out as Third Impact now are on receive, of course, the other side of that 50-50 up in Epicenter. And so that's just surprising for the fight to go down that quickly. Wish we could have seen that now. It's just the rotation path, or excuse me, the looting path coming out for Team Intel here. As their armor situation, not the greatest. Hill currently still sitting on that white Evo. We do have Evo changes as well. That's kind of one of the things that one of two things that I was super excited for coming into season 7. The impacts onto the competitive meta because of the Evo changes, with the ring damage changes. It's gonna change. It's gonna affect a lot of teams' movements and abilities to rotate. And I look at a team like Complexity with, of course, Shiny on it, who are known to take some of these really wide rotations in the ring damage. It's going to allow them in zones 1, 2, and 3 to be able to do that. Now, Rockstar, once again, of course, being contested on drop, and this time around, they don't have the best of loot. It's just White Evos currently. Looks like Matt Pickett was able to get some damage off, as he's 101 away from evolving that one, but Team Rockstar playing this very cautiously right now.
Pickett has a Prowler, that's all you need to know. It doesn't matter what armor he has. He can literally drop his armor, give it to the enemy team, and still be okay. But it has to be Crummy to infiltrate here. He has to be the one that goes in and kind of assesses the situation. And this is what you're supposed to do. Pickett's there with the R301 with the 3X, so he's able to, support and do exactly what he did when they fought Team Liquid. And speaking of Liquid, they hit a big scan for us and are getting in a fight. But the fact that they have all this information before anybody else means to go take the God spot. Don't fight here. Someone could easily come in behind you, scoop up your spot, and then sandwich you between this other team.
Yeah, it looks like they were pinging some of the buildings that they could possibly take right now. All the way on the southeast side, there is a fight. Team Pringles, they've got to be careful. Casellos, does he not have a med kit? They've got time to heal up, but now they make the push. Oh, they see the caustic, so LG might be on the other side. It's GS Bird actually going down and being thirsted there by Casellos. So once they clear that up, they're going to have the 3v2 now. But instead, it's a flank coming in from another side. The third party is here, and this is why you have to end your fights quickly.
Good bubble. I think that Hundreds needs to watch his back, though. The other players are coming on from the side, and Rice Krispies is going to dip out. But this is a tough third party to deal with, and it looks like that is going to be Liquid coming around. So all these teams completely aware of the situation. There's about 4 teams trying to set up and take these good spots, and now Pringles is going to feel the wrath of Team Liquid right there. Rice Krispies gets out with only 1 loss, so they got the memo. There was more than 1 team in the vicinity, and that's a tough situation to be in for Pringles because they were winning that fight. It was a really good spot to be in. The shots were looking good. It was a great bubble by Hundreds, but sometimes there's really nothing that you could do unless you decide just not to take any fights. But Rice Krispies was putting on some pressure, and you can't just fold at the same time too. So really, Liquid was the team that gets the best out of that situation. They may even get all 5 kills here.
Oh boy, very scary now as they are trying to advance onto them. Big damage. Sung wasn't able to fully heal up as well. As Stunny put down that port for him, he's going to go down and lead him right back into him. And so that's going to be another pickup there as already down to 17 squads here in the early game, and the action continues. It's Team Rockstar pushing forward once again. There's the knock from Matt Pickett onto Lion now, and it looks like Team Rockstar might have full control of the South here.
Yeah, but there's still 2 teams here then. That's going to be Applejacks. You're going to have Rockstar. You're going to have Liquid still around in the area. Pickett's going to get a knock. Hal finds a knock too, so now TSM's here. And this is the never-ending fighting that goes on when you get towards this circle. One team wants that building, the next team wants it. Everybody hears the shots as they're rotating. And TSM shows up late and typically does a pretty good job of being the last team to fight here. So we'll see if TSM kind of stops this entire thing because they're healthy. But no, Flanker gets a knock on his snipe down. So screw Watch and Crummy. Let's go back to the fight because we have 2 of the best teams right now going at it, Liquid and TSM.
Reps is down as well. Snipe down gets thirsted, and so now it's all up to Hal here, the Imperial Rat. We'll see if he can survive for his squad, but again, there's so much action going on down here. Don't know if he'll be able to survive this as another team is actually coming in right now. And so that call about speed running our games tonight, it's really coming to fruition at this point.
Yeah, we know what's going on with Crummy's point of view. He's going to rat and try to get these tags. He's not even going to be able to get them. So we have to go back to the fighting that's going on here because it's so important to the storyline of what's happening in this map. So if we can get on board with Liquid or see what's going on the teams that are inside of this area, that's going to be great because there is at least 3 teams fighting over there. Sentinels,
Yeah.
anyone.
Oh, Sentinel's getting involved as well. You saw Cooler, I believe one of them had a longbow, was able to get that knock, and Crummy now just committing to the kill points here, and so he'll be able to pick one up. But it's Sentinels that are currently the kings of that hill. NRG, understanding that they want to avoid the cluster truck that is the south down there, just going to control the northern pillbox, and they're not getting involved. There's plenty of opportunity. You make it to the late game, you will pick up kill points as TSM. Oh, take a look at that. Imperial Hal was able to recover the banners of Snipe Down and Reps. So we'll see if they're going to get Rez back into this. For now, it's going to be tough work for him, as it looks like Team Cheez It themselves might be in a spot of trouble. Strictly just taking a lot of ring damage, actually, as they're trying to rotate around. Oh, getting shot from behind as well. Team Cheez It should be able to get out of this safely, as it is just the first ring for now, so they can take this for some time.
Yeah, they're just going to rotate over here, but they have a very far rotation, and good thing they have Gibraltar, because they're going to need it in these type of instances. You have to keep running here. You can't stop. You can't set up. If you set up, the other team's going to collapse on you. You're going to end up getting third-partied as well, so they just need to bounce out unless they're trying to find some sort of loot, but I'd be surprised if they don't get third party here. You do have a team charging. This is exactly as anticipated, so maybe they're going to try to just get some initial damage and take this one. But it's kind of a useless fight.
Yeah, and they've allowed them the time to basically reset their full healed, essentially, missing about 10, 15 HP across a couple of them, but still in a good spot. They've got control of the high ground right now, and it's going to be difficult to try and push this position, as it's just both teams just posturing for now, just poking and prodding, but nothing really coming of it quite yet. Nades will be able to rejoin with his team. Huge shot coming out from that charge rifle, almost cracking Strictly. Again, there's no real pressure until you have the climate coming out from that Pathfinder. He has to back away, as that Prowler did connect pretty strongly there for Nades. And both of these teams now, they're just making their rotations harder the longer this team fight takes. There's a minute before the zone starts closing, but they are on the edge of the zone right now. We saw the ring going all the way down south, so they have to finish this fight quickly here. We do have the thermite coming out. That is going to be enough just to buy time for Nades, who needs to heal once again. They're just burning through all their meds. This is a zero-sum game here. It's Na'Vi on the other side. Max Strafe and Nesh able to pick up knocks themselves. It's all now down to a 1v2 for Strictly. He's got the Bolt and the Hemlock here, getting good damage off. No damage being traded really back yet until Strictly took some shots, and now he's down to about 50 HP. Picks that one up, but no, he will not be able to finish off the fights. And Na'Vi are now left to scramble here to pick up whatever meds they can and make it into the ring.
Man, Strictly almost dumpstered those guys right there. That was some pretty nasty shots from him. Meanwhile, we're looking at what's going on over towards the important side of the map where teams are playing it the correct way. It's going to be CLG with some really nice shots. Baxlon got a little too over aggressive, wondering where his teammates are. Now Madness follows suit. That's not how you play that one, going in one by one. Retzi from Sentinels going to finish it off. Again, once you go and you fight in these places, it's third party central. It's going to be constant fighting over towards that area. Team Razor slowing it down, setting up inside the building right now. Tempest from Team Intel going to get a knock right there onto Fun. So still have fighting going on the map, and only 10 squads alive.
Team Razor is still ostensibly playing the edge at this point. They spot out one team still over at Sorting Factory, and so there is space on the map for them to try and go. I mean, we're down to 10 squads. It's half the server. It's looking like a regular ranked game at this point. I guess no one told them that the race towards world's first pred will happen in about 3 hours. Not now. So we do have a res coming out over here, over a tree.
Yeah, this is a pretty interesting zone with only 10 squads, because I highly doubt people are going to just continue to send it. I feel like now's the time things are going to slow down a little bit. Everyone's going to find out and try to get a scan on where the next zone's going to be, where zone 4 is going to be. That's going to be the key. But it's going to be another kind of Sorting Factory side area that people are going to have to lock down. NPL with a decent setup here. I like what E-Boy's Ronnie setup is for a Wraith. That's a perfect combination for him to have. So he's going to be able to get really aggressive. And there's the pull. So it's away from Sorting Factory. And now some more teams going to have to fight each other. You can see the pings going down over towards the Sorting Factory side. Curious to see what team's holding that roof over there. We know Razor was in the vicinity Is Razor the only team stuck inside the building is the question.
Yeah, again, we have to talk about just how few teams are left in this lobby right now. Ooh, we do have a fight breaking out. Team Intel losing Teen. This could be dangerous.
Teen could have been the
It's
guy that got
NPL just-
respawned. Nope, it wasn't. He comes in with a shield, so that was definitely maybe we saw the res at tree, right? Maybe Teen came through and got an armor and hasn't been able to fully recover yet. So that would probably be the only reason I could see a fight happening at this point. And it was probably with a long-range gun, maybe a scout or something like that. So Teen's gonna hop back in, and they're gonna be able to pop some syringes for him. But Hill, you can tell, just trying to look out for his buddy right now, dropping some syringes. He's got the ADS going with the shield, and he's doing some pretty good damage with the Prowler from that range.
Yeah, I don't know if they've got the port quite yet to work with, but they've got another 50 seconds. If they don't have it, I'd be surprised at this point. They do have rotation options here, trying to take the backhand side, now going over towards the connector, and plenty of cover to work with. So they should be safe on this res. It's just, is anyone on the other side? And they've got the options to work with as well, as the ring just ends right there, leaving them plenty of room. It looks like they do want to try and get aggressive. Early bubble out now from Hill, as a thermite will be used to clear out the right-hand side. He starts backing away, though. So I'm not entirely too sure what their goal was with this push, but they're now retreating all the way back to the same building they were at before.
I think his idea was, once his bubble was down, he's going to go and back off and just try to reset until it comes up, because like you said, it was early. It was almost wasted. You don't want to do that in that instance because it's on such a long cooldown. You really need that thing. So I like that play to back off. And they do have a pinch on the team in the blue trailer. You can see NPL sitting there laying shots down. If Intel's able to get a little bit aggressive on this, that's going to be good. But E-Boy Ronnie looks like he wants to focus this team. He knows this zone is closing, and they really don't have many options to rotate.
They can't go over to the east. There's no huge burden on them to move out of this position quite yet. And so they're going to try to pick up whatever kill points they can from long-range third party here. Of course, the other teams don't know that Dracos is quite low on ammo. Now they're quite low on HP. All their armors have been cracked as they back away, popping the bats. Ronnie barely making it out of there, but he's going to try and port his team out. No, the team's just going to walk in with this. It's a full 3 right below. Ronnie getting chased down now. Here's the nade out from Dracos, but that bubble will survive for now, and he gets turned on. They walked right into it. Huge damage here. Climbing up into the Prowler. ZZ almost goes down, and it looks like Nestle Pure Life will get wiped up.
Yeah, surprised that Dracos doesn't use his grapple to get back up. If he would have thrown that nade and then grappled, he would have been in a much better position than going and clambering up. He wouldn't have even taken any damage right there. But here's a fight happening between Team Razor, who rotated over towards the Sorting Factory. Nice knock on a Nathan. These massive shots are hitting big time. He's doing almost 300 damage with that. Zeratricky actually gets a thirst off, but he's not able to connect. The pinch too strong from Frex and from Rocker. They did get the thirst on the Nathan. That's why Zeratricky hit that armor swap, but he just wasn't able to handle both the players at the same time. Meanwhile, Intel coming in from the tree side. There's the bubble coming in from Hill. One team trying to make their way out of there. That's going to be fun. Getting knocked from one player of Na'Vi. Great shots there from Teen onto the player. Thought that was a player, but it's actually just a knockdown shield. They're going to finish that guy, which was fun. And since they're playing Gibraltar, they're not in a bad spot right now. They can just continue to take these fights on the edge and try to level up.
Yeah, they got 46 seconds to work with, and the decision is, do we want to try to rotate heavy to the east? But it looks like they have to commit to the left. There's too many unknown factors there. Now time is running out with 30 seconds remaining. Oi, Senpai! Oh, boy. Almost gets punished there, but it looks like 303 might be able to recover, as they've made it behind cover now. But again, it's just time running out. 20 seconds left to go, and they've really only got one path to try and make this in. This zone hurts, and you cannot just tank this one out. As the nades are coming in, they've got a little high ground to work with, but Fury gets knocked. That's going to be NRG now coming in with the flanks. They are down to a duo themselves. We saw Nathan going down earlier on. NRG just figuring we're just going to go for the kills at this point. Frax currently sitting at 4 as the kill leader. He's got that G7 scout doing massive damage to the team all the way to the east now, but they cannot overcommit. Zone is closing, and so they will back away.
I like that Rocker leads the charge here as the Gibraltar, while Frex just continues to push players over towards the right-hand side. And there you see the pings coming in from Intel. They're just going to continue to play this ledge. They're still going to be able to make it around the corner here with a portal if they need to. So not that big of a deal. One player, I think, ratting right here around this left-hand side. Sonar detected, and now they're going to be able to see exactly where that guy is. That guy's cracked, so now it's going to be a full stun. Looks like it's just a rat, though. Otherwise, he'd probably have some teammates within the vicinity. They don't realize that, so they just back off and heal because there's a team coming in from behind. This is an interesting rotation by whoever this duo is.
Yeah, and I like that they go ahead and refocus. They're not going to be able to catch that Wraith that was able to queue away. And so now they're just watching their back for now. But with the ring pulling away again, it's all about the time you invest into this. You have to be able to rotate in with the zone right now. But with the worry to their back, they don't have that luxury right now. On board with Cooler, who are just mosh pitting underneath the bridge here at this point, really getting their 90s feels on at this point. Of course, do have the pings out, and so it looks like they will have a low ground position to work with some cover. There's a team right above them. I don't know who that is, as it looks like currently there are 2 teams in the lobby that are not full health.
Wonder what song they're moshing to down there. Could be an interesting question that I'll have to ask these guys, but I do like the situation that they're in. I think they're in a pretty good spot here because, yeah, that team will hold the high ground, but you have so much area to work with, and you don't see any Watson fences in the vicinity, so you can just take your time making your way over there. And Intel's still keeping this duo over here, so I don't think this team's realized that it is just a duo. Team takes a lot of damage right there, but they do have the bubble down. The bubble disappears, so it was a little bit early, and now the pinch comes from that solo in behind. That's just Rogue Sweet, only one player. He's going to get the finish right there. Tempest finishes that one. Now it's going to be a 2-on-1. Hell's going to have to win this one. One more massive shot is all it takes. The jump comes out. That's going to be 303, but the grief is there, and the grief is real. The problem that Intel had is it really is up to Teen to go out there and play aggressive and figure out what's around the corner, both of those corners. If he just goes and checks, he'll realize those are 3 free kill points and a free rotation right now for this team. They could have really popped off in this lobby, but instead it's just Hill ratting by his solo. We'll see if he's able to do anything.
He barely makes it in, and so it looks like a 3-3-1-2 might be in the play here, as we'll see. Intel, Hill, does he have any shield heals? It doesn't look like it. He's not popping it quite yet. And so like that's very unfortunate. Yeah, I agree. That's what you get for really just trying to show there. I don't understand. There was no point whatsoever. You don't have any heals. You're a solo. You're trying to make it to top 3. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll let Intel do their thing. I'm gonna let them just continue and play their game. They're on some other stuff. But LG finding themselves in a really nice situation again. Sonya on the caustic. Can't mess with this guy, and love the way that they've been playing the previous game. Let's see if they can keep this one up. Not a ton of kills, but a ton of kill potential here as they do have the high ground. They have one team to deal with across the way, and they have some pretty good resources. One more thermite grenade could prove pretty useful. There's some nice damage with the Hemlock. That means Rugby's going to go and send this one, and the ult is going to land, but it's not going to connect quite yet, and that means the rest of the teams are going to push this.
Yeah, that's also going to allow Cooler that free rotation now to get on in. LG will be able to finish off NRG. Cooler tried to take advantage of that, but that is not a third party you want to try and push when you don't know how much damage was actually traded. And so Cooler now just playing on the low ground position. That also means that Hill was able to make it into the top 3 for his team. Now we'll just see if he can take advantage of this if they commit onto a fight, but with this ring, it looks like Cooler are barely in. And so we'll see how much longer Hill can survive for this. Oh boy, he's spotted out now. They know he's there. Yeah. He's going to try and swoop on out, but there we go. We are now down to our top 2, Cooler versus LG, as LG are slowly trying to choke them out. There it is.
Just got the finger rolling on these guys right now.
They've got everything working out for them. They've got the caustic. The EMP was used, but that also means they can just pop out the drone just for the information.
That's the spot right there. There you go, Sonya. Love these angles being taken. That's enough damage for me to drop. I don't know what these guys are feeling. I'd be going for it right now. They're going to wait for this bubble to get away, and now they're just going to send it. It's going to be a portal capture coming in for Rugby. Are they going to be able to land it? It doesn't look like Rugby's able to.
Oh,
Oh, yes, he
got
does
it.
get one. It's a Gibraltar, and he put it in the air so they can't come back. Big brain plays coming in for LG. These guys are nuts.
Oh boy, this is going to be 2 games in a row for LG. Will it be another 29-pointer? I don't think so, but still taking 2 back-to-back dubs. This is massive.
What a play coming down right there from LG. This is the best I've ever seen them play. I wish they would play like this when it comes to the ALGS, but here they are in Series E, just putting on the best performance I've ever seen from these guys. And I know they've been fully capable for quite some time, but I love the way that portal play happened. The capture coming through, you set the portal in the air, the Gibraltar comes through, has no idea where he is, can't jump back in to find his way through, and then you have some more initial damage coming through. LG coming through hot.
Yeah, and our EU team's just performing really well there too. I mean, Cooler was able to make it into the top 2 this time around, but I think, of course, Hill being able to survive there for Intel will keep them in the running right now. LG, we don't know how far they'll be able to break away with this, but they had a pretty substantial lead after game number 1. After game number 2, this is going to be massive.
Yeah, we're going to take a quick break and we'll tally up the scores. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to week 2 of Series E as we are quickly heading into game number 3 here. And it's Luminosity that's been just absolutely dominating the lobby with 2 wins in a row there, Tom.
Yeah, they're looking good. I'm pretty impressed with all the EU teams. Nice to see them out here doing some big things. But right now it's LG and just the way that they're able to play this Caustic and showing that Caustic is still strong, right? And he's going to be able to get a little bit stronger with his ultimate. Yeah, you're going to have more visibility, but I feel like the change to get more damage is definitely worth the visibility because the visibility is tough to deal with. But how much visibility are you going to actually have in this thing?
Yeah, I think people learned how to adjust to the visibility things. And so right now, as we take a look at the leaderboard after 2 games, Luminosity now at 48 points overall, with Team Intel still in second place with 25 points. And so Luminosity are slowly walking away from this, and we have to remember that in week number 1, TSM and Team Liquid, they had 106 and 103 points. So Luminosity almost halfway there already after 2 games. Remember, that was 8 games that we played last week.
That's right. And we're playing 6 tonight. After this game, we're going to go to halftime. Shorten it just a little bit so we can get everybody ready for Season 7 that's happening at 8 o'clock Pacific time. But yeah, LG looking good. Intel has been solid so far. I feel like Intel could even capitalize some more with the way that they're playing right now. But Rockstar always going in and playing over towards the edge. But fortunately for them, they're not dealing with too much pressure over towards Lava City. Yes, it is a 50-50, but it doesn't seem like the other team's flying on them. Seems like they're okay splitting the loot and kind of just playing a little bit more passive. I think they've learned what's going on. Meanwhile, we have Team Cheez It that's been fighting over towards the epicenter side, and that's been pretty tough for these guys to deal with. They got eliminated fast in game number 1. Meanwhile, they got the 3 kill points early, but they only have 4 total.
Yeah, and so we're seeing why the 50-50s are so consequential in the early game and how it really does affect your mid and late game. Now, on board for game number 3, Team Rockstar is a team that we were looking at early on because of the fights that they're constantly finding themselves here up against Cooler. This is a team that's been on the rise. I've been love watching the development of this team.
Yeah, I really think that all the teams that are partnered are really starting to improve week to week, which is one of the main reasons that Series E even exists, so we can have this farming system of players that can continue to just showcase what their skills are and really just help cross promote everything. So I know that all these players' streams, go give them a follow, go show them some love and things like that, because that's what this is. It's about growing Apex. And yeah, I think Team Rockstar, Team Razor have really started to stand out, but Intel, we know they didn't have the best performance last week. They're coming back hot here, and it'd be nice to see one of these partner teams go and win this early in, because everybody knows the organizations kind of have been a team for quite some time, and they tend to stand out. But the way LG's playing right now, I wonder if anyone could catch them. I want to see how they play in game number 3.
Got 4 more games left to go here as we are joining Team Cheez It. Amaze barely able to get out, has the armor swap as well, so nice finesse movement. But now the nades are continuing to rain in. Oh boy, Ballon G choosing the wrong time to climb on up.
Wow.
Jazz was able to get the trade, but now it's down to the 2v1. We'll see down to the 1v1, and Jazz will clutch it out for the squad.
So unfortunate running out of energy ammo right there. The L-Star shots look so good, but Jazz coming through with the clutch, the 50-50, going back on over to third impact. 2-1 is your total, but now we're going back to the other fight that's happening early on. Again, it's going to be Team Rockstar taking on most likely Cooler on the other end of things. So a charge rifle with the 4.8 is super strong in this type of instance, and Rakinishu going to rip that purple armor. He's going to find a lot of ammo this early into the game too, well over 70 shots. So he's going to just be ripping this charge rifle across the map, charging that Evo shield up. And you're not going to have that many cells early in this game too, so we'll see what happens with this team running away. They're really depleting all the resources right now.
Yeah, and this is just free for Rakinishu. He's got so much sniper ammo that really the trades definitely work out in their favor. I mean, they slow down on the rotation, but it's okay. They can play the edge. They've got the Gibraltar if they so want to. It's just Rakinishu getting so much damage off with this charge rifle right now. So it's getting closer and closer. Trying to get that knock with the 77 that are onto that purple. Now things look so good for Rockstar as they are continuing to try and cut these guys off. You can see that Crummy is taking a wide angle on the right side for the team. but it doesn't look like they can really chase so far. Crummy is too far away. They don't have the portal to like get in close. It's just free poke now for Rocky Nishu, who's almost at 319 away from being able to get that. NRG though in a fight with Team Pop-Tarts over here at Frag West. They've already lost Blighty, and that is not who you want to go down first. You want that Gibraltar fast res. Farmer Lucas is doing a good job here from the high ground though, getting some decent damage off, but now dropping to the low. He swaps on over to the Volt, and again, just deflecting a lot of this attack, so it buys them time. They might be able to recover here, but no, they have to back away right now. Blighty just left on his own here to bleed out.
Yeah, it's because the third party's coming. TSM kind of helping Team Pop-Tarts here because NRG is stuck towards the bottom of construction. So Blighty, his mom and dad will be proud. He was crawling so well. It reminds him back when he was just a wee young one. Great job there, Blighty, staying alive on the Gibraltar, making his way, even putting down the dome.
The Revenant silences came in, both whiffed there, and so they don't have to worry about that for now. With the bubble down, they're getting the fast heals up. Blighty will be able to get that med kit off, and so they bought enough time. They thwarted this attack. Oh no! NRG are on the offensive once again. There's one up top on the train tracks, and Fat Fruit Ninja almost goes down himself, now down to about 40 HP. Again, it's up to Farmer Lucas to hold it down for his squad as he pushes aggressively here. That's his only option. He's just getting pinched. His Fat Fruit Ninja will fall.
NRG coming back, not forgetting about what they started over there. Meanwhile, Navi setting up like this is going to be over towards their side. So interesting setup coming in. Meanwhile, Rockstar playing the edge. We know Rakinishu has that charge rifle. And they're not going to stay here very long. Yeah, you're going to see some fences coming down, but that's just so they can find their next area to rotate over towards, because this isn't even close to being where the zone's going to end. And now we have a fight happening over towards the Harvester side. That's going to be Team Pringles. Casella's busting out the Caustic. I don't think he was on that before. I swear he was playing Pathfinder, but instead they're going to switch up the team composition.
Everyone's just getting ready for Season 7. Like you said, there were changes to how the gas stacks now, and or does the ticks of damage. I believe it's the minimum ticks is 6, goes up to 12, and so it is pretty substantial. And I don't think too many people were bothered, especially at the pro level, by that vision blurring. As you were still able to aim, you could still do damage through it, and so it didn't really affect him. Oh, big fight now. Liquid getting involved with Sentinels. Red Sea and Senox going down. Another fight as well.
That's
303 are almost getting cleaned up. It's ZZ here who actually will be able to win out that fight. 303 survive for now.
Nice job by the camera team. Switch on over so we get the end of that fight. That is 303 winning it against Destiny Pure Life. Unfortunately for NPL, they haven't been able to get it together quite yet today. Sure, they'll be able to improve after halftime, after they have a little bit of a conversation of what's going on and what's going wrong. Meanwhile, Team Razor finding themselves in a tough spot. Mercy, the last person alive, pops the beast of the hunt. Not sure if he's going to be able to get away, because that's LG with the 2 fresh knocks. So Ronnie going to finish that one off, and Mercy's not even going to be able to play these banners because of the situation that he's in. Just absolute shambles with his cells. LG locking positions down, and now Casella's throwing the stink.
Yeah, I'm wondering if LG did a lurk play there, because that is their drop. And typically they wait things out. They use the replicator to the maximum advantage they can get out of it, and so they might have just been lurking there to actually catch out Team Razor on that rotate. Down here though at Harvester, where the action wasn't too far off, as Team Pringles are looking for a way to engage upon this fight. We do have the ultimate excels going back down over to Casellos, and so they want to get another Nox gas grenade. We'll see if they can get a good throw in with that, and then try to start off this fight.
Yeah, and I want to see where this zone's going to pull, so if we can find out on the map where the scan has hit, that'll be nice, because we see teams setting up over towards Fragment, we see teams setting up over towards Harvester. Somebody's definitely wrong, or are they both right? And it's neither one of these. So we'll see what's going on where this one pulls. But it's 2 teams setting up over towards Harvester. And you don't have many cells or a Watson, so you got to be careful. That's going to be Klein getting the knock on to hundreds there now. Casellas is going to have to do it big with his Caustic, and he doesn't have his ultimate up. You saw him pop the Excel, but he doesn't have the bombardment yet, and now Lion's starting to push. This is Team Applejack just running all over Team Pringles.
Yeah, it's a 1v3, and even though he's got that EVA 8, did some decent damage, was able to get the knock. Casellas has to get the hell out of there. He has the Phoenix kit, but he doesn't have the time. They're looking to finish this one off. It's going to be the finish there as Team Applejacks take the full team fight win, and with plenty of time to rotate in as well. And so they should be safe here recovering all of this loot.
Perfect ult there coming in from Kenny. But there's the third party. It's Team Intel coming in hot. Look at those guys, all three right next to each other. And they even spotted him out. Maybe they had some sound cues over towards the side. Now Kenny's absolutely screwed. That's another team. That's going to be Sir Dell coming in from Coolers. So you have a lot of teams now rotating through Harvester. And Clayton has to stay alive. Tough spot for Applejacks to be in. They just had such a clean team fight, but now two teams immediately charging towards them.
Yeah, such a strange rotation path as... Let's go ahead and swap off Clayton real quickly. As Kenny does get finished off. Yeah, there we go. We're on board with Team Intel, who are also here at Harvester, and so just a lot of teams coming in to scavenge the remains at this point. It was a weird rotation path, though, coming out from Cooler. We know that, of course, they were over there by Lava City. Now they're just patrolling here on the south, looking for those edge fights, as it looks like Intel want to get involved in that as well. They don't want all the early game kills to just go for free. They want some themselves, as right now is the full reset, and Intel will slide down on in, as even Team Rockstar have gotten involved in this as well. Rakanishu picks there, trading away now, and it's going to be Intel coming in for the third party. You got to be careful of that flank, though, as Hill almost goes down. 40 HP. The arm shield is the one that saves him for now. Cooler almost finishing that one off. Crummy still alive, is the last one alive, I believe, for his team here. It's Intel who are just trying to stabilize, buy time for Teen, who is able to get that bat off, and now he needs to pop that med kit. Tempest did enough, and they feel like they can turn the tides on this. As they do turn around, the arm swap is there. Rockstar, get the hell out of there.
Was that a Bloodhound or was that Crummy? Because I swear to God, that's the fastest player I've ever seen. Going on over where TSM is, they've set up over towards Fragment side, and now Crummy getting a little bit of a skirmish inside this bubble. That's going to be Nasky. Hits the Q, but that means that Nasky's most likely going to be able to get res. He takes the high ground. Will he be able to hit a battery? Defensive bombardment, enemy defensive bombardment coming in. And now you're seeing TSM start to infiltrate a building here. I'll just fly in with no fear, doing so much damage. Even switching on over the shotgun. He did not even get any sort of help from behind. Instead, it's going to be a flank from Snipe Down. He did so much damage going in there. It was like he was invincible for a second. The other team wasn't even shooting him.
It was some great tactical, like calculated aggression coming out. You saw the nade, and then instantly Hal just goes right through the door with it. And so it was just breach and clear for Hal and TSM. Just patrolling the grounds of Fragment, able to pick up some extra kills there for themselves. Applejacks just... It's Clayton now left here to try and rat this one out for his team. With 11 squads remaining, looks like there might be another team that might be down to a solo. So again, a lot of early game, mid game fights. It's round 2 closing, and we are down to basically half the teams.
He's going to craft his armor up here, but a team of 3 is coming around the corner. What I want to see is where Team Intel is, because right now Team Intel has a decent opportunity to climb the leaderboards here and possibly catch up to LG. Applejacks is going to be done. Clayton doesn't even have these banners, so the team that's on them is Team Intel. So let's see if they're able to get some more kill points here. This is just a solo. All they got to do is avoid this barrel, and they do. So tough situation to be right now for Clayton. 3 players chasing him down, and they're thirsty for this kill, Jamerson. They're not giving up on this.
One more KP, and they've got the time to work with. There's 2 minutes before the zone closes, and you can't imagine too many other teams are riding the western edge right now. And they don't have a Bloodhound, but they're chasing like they do, and there it is. Okay, Hill, no damage traded whatsoever. We'll be able to pick that one up, and now we are down to 10 squads remaining. There might be 1 more rat left in this lobby.
Man, I'm just glad that he hit him with the shotgun instead of the punching disrespect, because they could have just surrounded that player and really gave him the business. But it looks like LG's put themselves in a decent position. They're middle of the zone right now over towards construction building. Caustic's nice with a gold helmet. He's really going to be popping these barrels all over the place. And now Ronnie's going to be able to get some amazing information. There's the scan coming in. And that's so huge for Crypto. They're really playing this well and methodically. But there's Rogue coming through and got the fill coming in. Lose out. Fun's coming in. And Fun's a very skilled player, unfortunately for him. He had the respawn time out. And there's the other Caustic in this map. We have, I think, 3 or 4 of them here. It's going to be dropped, locking down the broken building.
By the end of this tournament, every team's going to be running Caustic. I feel like it's just going to be the pickup for this one so far. Rogue, though, we'll see how they can recover. It's Intel. Oh, they might have found a little fight here. Do you see Teen healing all the way up that armor? And yeah, there is a team controlling the tunnel connector over towards Frag. Tempest has to get out of there as the nade is able to get in. They back away for now. It looks like there might be a pinch as well. A team to their north, a team to their south. Yeah, they got to push something, but don't know if you would really want to try and climb up on a team that's controlling that choke as we swap on over. Third impact, running the Revenant as now they do have a position here in the north side of East Fragment. They do back away as they weren't able to find the trade that they wanted with that Revenant ult.
I swear, whenever Revenant on my team, I play worse because it just is so awkward for me getting sent back. I get lost. I have no idea where I am. And it just is tough to play with. I really have a lot of respect for the teams that play it in competitive because in order to actually pull that off like Alliance does, you have to be very, very disciplined in the way that you play that. But Intel finds themselves taking the fight away from Train Yard instead, goes over towards the choke, and this is big. They need to get over here. This zone is going to rip them pretty badly, but the way that they've been able to make space is really good. There's the initial knock. It's going to be 303 that's taken down. Tempest, though, takes a lot of damage. Teen is freaking thooming down that hill, but now it's just up to hill. No bubble and not many shield cells, so it's looking pretty tough here for Intel.
He was able to get top 3 for them last time. He had to rat this one out. 303 no, also in a very difficult position. Boy, Senpai, with barely a sliver of HP, still bleeding out here, but Fury, we'll see if he can try and recover him. We have the defensive bombardment coming down as well. So Fury knows he's up there. That's an extra KP that he can pick up. He's already got 4 to his name right now. We'll see if he can try to push that position, but I believe it was Team Liquid that were firing at them. And so it's actually Snipe Down that finishes off Always Senpai.
That's pretty big for Intel because I feel like they got that knock initially, so that's going to be a kill point going on over them. Meanwhile, Rice Krispies not in the next zone, but it looks like Stunny has made his way over towards the spot that they would possibly lock down. So not that bad of a position to go and lock down, and we're starting to see exactly where this zone's going to be. It's going to be Fragment side. It's most likely going to be a lot of teams stuck inside of this one because there's so many buildings. So not going to be like our first 2 games. This one's going to really slow down. A lot of teams going to share buildings over here. And one team that has to deal with that is Team Liquid because there's a team directly below them. Possibly going to be Caustic and Luminosity.
Yeah, we saw them in construction earlier on. They were the ones that were able to get this ring information for us. Let's see where the next one pulls, probably over towards the market side. We're very familiar with that one so far. Liquid do have options to work with. Of course, they can just slide off, go on top of the train tracks if they want to. We'll see exactly how they want to approach this one for now, as it's TSM patrolling the northwest side.
Yeah, TSM's putting some pings down too. Looks like they want to hold inside of a building too. When you have 3 buildings inside, getting inside of one of those is pretty nice, but you are going to have to share, and this is a fairly tiny, tight spot to go through, and a lot of Watson fences to deal with. Reps takes so much damage, he's going to have to bubble immediately. Zone closing in, so TSM going to have to take this fight over towards the bottom floor, and you have to be a little bit worried of a third party here. Does Reps have any medkits? There it is. Someone just pops one out. That's going to be Hal. Heal coming through here. This is big for Reps to be full shields when they go and take this fight.
Yeah, Hal doing a good job of covering the stairs because really that was the biggest threat of someone pushing down as Reps needed to be able to get that heal off. Hal himself, though, taking a lot of damage from the player up top on top of Khan. That was Team Liquid, and now they're getting pushed by the team that they were sharing it with. It was Third Impact. absolutely getting demolished there. Reps
it's a
has
different team
gone
coming
down
through.
along with Imperial Hal, and now looks like Na'Vi looking to clean it up. That should be TSM out very shortly as he's just cowering behind the knock shield. There we go. He gets finished off. Now Na'Vi will be the beneficiaries of all that loot.
Tough spot for TSM to be in. They wanted to share the building, but there was 3 teams within the vicinity there, and like I was mentioning before, Team Liquid still has a sliver of this construction area in, so now we start to see where this one goes through. It's going to be more towards that fence spot, which is a very popular zone. There goes the zoning, though, from Luminosity, who's the team directly below Liquid. And a couple cells and resources being shared right there, but it's going to have to be a portal play from Nocturnal, and he's going to put that right on the fence in front of him. And there's going to be at least 3 or 4 teams on their side of the fence, and instead of letting another team make that play, it's going to be LG making that play first, which is big. Nocturnal's going to have to follow suit here if he has his portal.
They're doing a good job of just kind of zoning them out with those nades that they've been tossing up onto that small little platform. And yeah, they don't have much to work with. No portal. They don't have a defensive bombardment. So they're going to really rely upon Alberlele here. He has to be just spot on with that bubble. Looks like they do have the slides to be able to get on top of it. And there it is. They do have that high ground position to work with now. They will be a little bit exposed here, but it's about the crossfire being set up basically over by this respawn beacon.
This zone's so much fun to play. You have so many different spots and options to go from, and it can really house so many teams. It forces these little fights against these walls. It's exactly what Liquid's doing right now. They're stuck underneath this bridge. You have a team on top of the bridge as well. There goes the knock. It's going to be Yuki from Cooler initially with the Mastiff. He gets finished, though, by Nocturnal, and only a sliver of health live. He goes and gets the armor swap and uses this bubble to try to stay alive as long as possible. Meanwhile, Rice Krispie Treats takes a ton of damage over from the side. Na'Vi getting some knocks over there onto Team Liquid. Sung now the last guy alive for his squad, just trying to stay alive. Doesn't have any arbor swaps within the vicinity. Best option would be to try to grab that banner, but he just gets ripped from the side. Meanwhile, Rogue with Fun as a duo looking pretty solid here. Are they going to get to a team of 3, or is this going to be a 2-stack? Looks like 2 players making their way over towards where Dropped is, trying to single them out. Sweet now laying down the cover fire.
Yeah, it's Na'Vi as a full 3 in this 3v2. They are stuck in this position, so they do know exactly where they are. Max Strafe is going to swing out, try and change the angle for his team. Sweet is able to pick up one. Now it's down to a 2v2 until Na'Vi finally answers back, but now it's a 1v1. Sweet has so much HP to work with. He's going to nade out Nesh, should be able to finish him off, and there it is. Na'Vi actually take this. Yeah, I miscalled that
Great job
one.
by Rogue, though. As a duo, fantastic job. I mean, Na'Vi coming through as a 3-man team, they should go and take that. But it was Max Strafe getting knocked early that started to scare me and gave Rogue a little bit of confidence. So I imagine if Fun was there, they would have gone and taken that one. But either way, 3 games in our EU teams coming through strong.
Yeah, that was massive so far. I don't know what's in the water right now over at EU. I think, just a collective outcry of struggles going on in North America right now. That's my excuse so far this week. But EU, I mean, these are some of the best teams, right? And we're seeing them really show up this evening as we have hit the halfway mark. And so again, not surprised that LG was able to make it pretty late into the game, but finally someone has put a stop to them. And so I think that's very important as we have 3 games left. They had a huge first 2 games, and so not being able to really chain that back to back is really important for the rest of the lobby.
Yeah, and we're going to take our halftime break. It's a 10-minute intermission. Don't go anywhere. More Series E when we return. Are you guys ready to find out what team you're partnered with?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, there's going to be a lot of Pringles in your life because you guys are Team Pringles now.
Let's
Get ready to stack it up, baby.
That's awesome.
All right, well, what do you guys have to say to the people over at Pringles? What can they expect from your team, and what does it mean to you guys, Casellos, to be a part of this?
Me personally, the Pringles, I love Pringles. So, praise my opinion.
Same here.
Let's go. All right, let's talk about that. So, Team Pringles is taking down Team Cheez-Its like it's nothing, right? 100 Stink, is this happening?
Of course.
Oh,
Yes, 100%.
For sure.
Sides.
Sour cream and onion all day.
You love to hear it. All right, Hundreds, you got a favorite flavor?
Sour cream. I love the pizza one too. The pizza one's crazy. Like, I don't know how they did it.
All right, Casellas, which one's your favorite?
I don't exactly know the name, but it's the cheese one. I think it would be cheddar.
Just straight up
Pringles?
cheddar? Oh, yeah.
The cheddar,
or
yeah.
maybe even the sour cream and cheddar. I think they may have. There's a lot of different flavors. Okay, we're all once you pop, you can't stop, man. We all know the slogan. So you guys are gonna be popping
Yep.
off.
Welcome back to Series E as we are heading into the second half of the evening tonight. We've got a short one because Season 7 is on the way. I'm Jamerson. Yeah, that's right. My cam is frozen. I get it, chat. We've got enough of that. We got T Squared, though, and his cam is working. And Tom, we saw LG going down, I guess, fairly early. They weren't able to pick up as many points in game number 3, but they still have a pretty large lead going into game number 4.
Yeah, let's take a look at the leaderboard and see exactly how big that lead is. The EU team's coming in hot, winning 3 of 3 here so far. It's Na'Vi right behind him in second place. Meanwhile, Team Intel, our partnered team, in the top 3. Rogue behind them, hot on the trail. That's how big that second place was for them, just as a duo. As Fun dropped a little bit early, subbing in there for Lou tonight. And third, Impact. 3 of our top 4 EU teams in the top 5. So they're really, really coming in swinging. Like you said, something in the water over there. Or maybe they're just, all hyped up because Season 7's coming along the way and they may have woken up just to play.
It's going to be a long, long evening for the grinders over in EU right now, but already it's a good evening. Like you said, Luminosity and Navi in our top 2, the Luminosity with a fairly comfortable lead currently, but now, they need to finish off strong. Navi are on their heels with Team Intel having one of their better performances so far.
Yeah, and Cooler's there too. So all of our EU teams now on the top 7. So phenomenal job by them, but it's been LG over at 50-point threshold in 3 games. That's ridiculous. That's exactly what you want to see from one of these top EU squads. But now we go into halftime. Adjustments have been made. Teammates have been yelled at, have been called out. Maybe some adjustments in terms of landing strategies because Cheez-Its going toe-to-toe right now with another team over there. So it's been tough for them to just try to make their way over, and they've lost 2 out of the 3 fights. So we'll see. Rockstar still being contested over there too. They had, I think, Cooler on their side, and all 3 of Cooler had purple armors, and they just got out of dodge. Meanwhile, Rakinishu charged up his Evo armor. So there's a lot of action going on right from the rip, and we'll see who's going to be able to get away with this one and start setting up. The zones have been pretty favorable. They haven't been too crazy. I like that fragment zone that just happened. It allows a lot of teams to go and set up and make some moves. So we saw how that one should be played, but I just wonder what's going on. Are we playing on the EU servers or are we playing on NA?
The zones have been slowly creeping up to the north, right? We started off on this, over at sorting, went all the way down south, and then went right back up to the north. We'll see if we have one finish over by survey or by skyhook as we head into game number 4. We are getting that set up right now. I think what's most important right here, especially in terms of experience, right, for our partner teams, is getting these 50-50 early drops and having to take those challenges and learning how to adjust to that, because that's what a lot of Apex Legends is, learning how to adjust to things like that happening to you.
Yeah, and a team that's landing close to where the zone finished last time is Team Pop-Tarts, but they haven't been able to find themselves over towards the end circles in these games. So it's been a tough break, and we'll see what Blight is going to have in store for us with his boy Farmer Lucas. Now, Farmer Lucas, I think, had to get out of dodge and play it solo last time, as they did get infiltrated pretty quickly, but they have been playing pretty well, and I've seen the improvements. I've seen a lot of potential in these guys, and we'll see what their route is and see if they're getting contested.
Yeah, the EU team's really, really giving our partner teams a hard time here. I believe it was Navi who are roughly in the area right now. As it's a pretty widespread coming out for them here. And they do have control over Khan, it seems like, for the time being. Navi might be swooping down to the south very shortly, so they do have to be careful about how far they're spread.
Nobody wants to split 2 people in that building. That's a tough break. Meanwhile, Cheez-Its now finding themselves in that fight. 3 players charging over towards Amaze. He doesn't have his grapple. Comes up in a couple of seconds. Maybe he's going to be able to make a nice little play here, but only a scout, and that's going to be third Impact coming in with some nice knocks. It's a 2 versus 2 currently, and that L-Star was doing serious work last time. Will they be able to hit these 14 shots? Turns his back. Now you're starting to see Strictly leave as well. Strictly's going to try to get some more loot, and he's going to finish that off. Meanwhile, NPL is around, and they're ready to third party, so tough break there.
Yeah, it was a really quick third party coming in from Nestle Pure Life, taking advantage of that. And that's one of the adjustments you have to make if you know that the 50-50s are happening and you're in the area. You have to take advantage. Rockstar, again, taking that fight, or at least being contested here on the south. We've seen the split. They're taking the eastern edge. Cooler taking the western side so far, just poking and prodding. That gives Cooler the option, of course, to rotate away from this fight, while Rockstar are the ones that slowly tread here on the kill feed. We see NRG were able to pick up Team Pop-Tarts during all that as well. Rakinishu going for that peek with that arm shield, gives him that extra bit of tankiness to try and go for that peek now, as Matt Pickett will go down to Dell. It's traded 1-for-1, so now it's down to a 2v2 currently here, as Nasky now ready to drop down. and try to finish off this fight, but still, he needs to figure out where they are. He hears them, throws in the arc shard. Now he's going to try and cut them off by going over to the other stairwell, but no, he takes the elevator on up, and this thing's slow down just a bit, going right into the Watson traps, and so his position has been given away for now, as Cooler just going to reset on the roofs here. Rockstar, they've changed positions. They're on the low ground now, as the nades come out. Don't know if anything will come of it. Both teams have recovered the beacon. Oh, the thermite actually connecting from Kami there. And now they are pretty much full committed onto this fight. There might be an option for Cooler to get out, though.
Just so surprised no one decides to land towards the dome area and third party of this fight. These fights have always lasted a couple minutes, and it's never going to stop. The fighting will always continue on this Lava City side, and I highly doubt the team that's over towards the top is going to give up that roof area, and that means Rakanisha is going to have to slowly make his way up, and Crummy's trying to make a play too, so we'll see if Cooler did dip out and maybe goes for that res. That's the only reason that they should make that play. But right now it looks like Rakanishu is going to slow play this one and just wait for somebody to try to make a mistake and walk by him.
As we can see, the southern edge of that ring is going all the way down. Oh, there it is. There's a re-engage. Nasky trying to play the bubble here. He's got the backup, and they will be able to get Rakanishu. And so Team Rockstar take the L on this fight, but there it is. Finally, the third party comes in eventually. Bubble out for Nasky as he needs to heal up. He has almost nothing to work with. Swaps on over to that medkit instead of using that syringe, so he'll be able to get that full heal. Surprising that the team hasn't completely engaged upon this, but now they are. It's GS Bird and Company, Team Rice Krispies getting involved. They've already got the knock onto Nasky and Coolers. Yuki will go down last. Now we are down to 16 squads remaining.
Good shots right there from Bird with the Mastiff. Also a nice job landing on the ledge. And I like the scan that came out from Sung too. So Sung not on his typical caustic, switching on over to Bloodhound here, trying to switch it up and get a different strategy. Meanwhile, Casella's doing something no one's ever seen, playing Loba in competitive.
I think everyone is just ready for Season 7 at this point and are just having a little bit of fun here. But Pringles, we do have the Gibraltar bubble going out from the other side. Hundreds has taken massive damage here, and it's Liquid. With already 2 knocks, we'll see if he can clutch this one up. No, he will fall down. Another fight breaking down over here at Harvester as Intel are making the rotation. Now they got someone in front of them. Oh, good damage coming across from Tempest, and even though he's at 50 HP, he swings in with that wingman. Will be able to finish them off.
I swear, Tempest has been one of the most impressive players so far in Series Z, and what's crazy is his teammates, in terms of the ALGS, are looking for a different third when he's been the person getting the most kills as a Watson on his squad. So I've been thoroughly impressed with the way he's been able to play. Meanwhile, Rogue having to dip out second place in last game and sitting in our top 5 currently, I believe, in points. Rogue, Sweet, gonna dip out and heal with that nice little med kit and the battery down the hill with the slide. But Rice Krispie Treats back at it from the Lava City side. Now they're looking for some more blood over towards the geyser, and that's a nice 84 Mastiff to open up.
Yeah, he cracks that blue armor. He knows he's in for flesh at this point now. But the defensive bombardment will slow them down. Stinny keeping good watchful eye. Some might even say the GS bird eye view for them as they back away off of this now. They don't want to full commit. They're going to wrap around to the eastern side. They don't want to get pigeonholed into this fight, and so they do have the options for the rotates. They can go over to the Vault Tunnel, go over to No Name instead, and it looks like that is what they're going to do. Rogue in another fight. It's LG's Rugby to go down first. They do have the caustic gas starting to tick away on some damage. That is information, but for now they're okay with just picking up the loot as they wrap around to the southern side to try and control what could be where this zone ends. Let's see. There are a lot of options for this ring so far. We don't have a scan for us. It's Zara tricky though, controlling the northern side of basically their favorite place to hold whenever we see a circle like this train tunnel.
Feel like whenever we see them here, they have a scout with a 3x almost every single time too. So these guys love the 3x scope. Who doesn't on these light ammo guns? But you know who's in the vicinity is Rogue. They fake like they're running away and then they double back. And keep in mind, Fun is switched on over to Gibraltar now. So Zeratricky's going to drop, and now Liquid getting into it over towards the Geyser side. You see defensive bombardment coming out, Bubble coming out as well. Crawler massive here for Alberly, so he's just going to do his best to poke, but didn't hit any batteries throughout all that time, so he's going to have to slow sell, but now he hits the battery coming through. Flanker's going to have to do the same thing. Nocturnal's dipping out, and this is Sentinels with the high ground. Such a hard push going up that hill.
Yeah, didn't have the bubble. There, hit the dead slide as well. So now they are in a world of trouble here as Alberlele tries to back away. He does have the battery to work with. And Sentinel's really not chasing too hard because, well, that's why the third party is coming in. Red Sea goes down as Sentinels continue this push, getting that knock onto Alberlele. I believe it's just up to Nocturnal here. But now it's Sentinels who are on the back foot. They need to recover Retzi. They need to res him back into this. We'll see if they have that opportunity. You can see the banner all the way to their west right now, pretty far away, as instead they're just going to go for the rotate.
I feel like Crust could set up a zip line for his boy and get a res right there. But we'll see what they elect to do. I don't think they take that much storm damage. Maybe if they don't have that many cells or syringes or any type of loot for the player that they're about to get up, that's not that big of a deal. Meanwhile, Intel coming through with the gatekeep over here. You have a nice angle coming in from Teen. He should probably just advance a little bit and make sure no one's clambering over towards him, but instead that team's going to dip over down towards the hill. Nice job by Intel backing this team off. They're not in the zone quite yet, but they have this high ground, which is key.
Yeah, every team just being safe for the third party by the fourth party there. As Cheez-It here were able to survive the early game now, and they have control over the northern side of the ring, but they are in a fight. It's TSM in front of them. Snipe Down gets that first knock onto Amaze, but Strictly, oh, he will fall, trades away for his life. It's all up to Nades now, but he gets pushed, and now Reps finishing him off. They'll be able to get Snipe Down back into this fight. Don't know if there's any other teams in the area, but they will have the quick res and the reset for them.
Wow. They still haven't gotten their boy back up yet, Crust. Huh. Okay. Let's leave him hanging over there towards the Geyser side. I get it. I have a team of 3 over here for Rice Krispie Treats. That's going to completely collapse if they do get the res. So it's either dip or get dipped right now if you're Sentinels. And looks like the chase is coming through from Rice Krispie Treats. Now's the time to rotate. 15 seconds. You got to make your move over here. Rogue doing some heavy gatekeeping. The more pressure they put on right here, the less likely this team's going to be able to make an advance. That's a nice 100 grenade coming through on the player that's already knocked and the player that's running away. They should be able to clean this up. Looks like that last player is going to go into the zone and just try to avoid giving any more kills over to this team. But nice job by Rogue playing this edge here. That's going to be LG. Big kills on the #1 team. And I think they were already down a player too. So only 1 player from LG remaining.
That was a huge pickup for Rogue, as they are continuing to patrol the northern side of the ring, the northwest side, as they ping out. There's a duo right in front of them currently. Fun. Some decent damage now with this Hemlock, as we are once again in game number 4. Half the lobby is already dead. Well, more than half the lobby, as we have 24 players remaining here.
It's because we have an hour and 7 minutes, and these guys are doing the math and realizing that if we don't pump these games out, we're going to be at least 5 minutes late downloading Season 7, which means I won't be first place. And I won't get the clout. So now you look at what LG's doing, and it's just Rugby and Ronnie over here because Sonya died. So unfortunate for Sonya, who's been playing so well on Caustic. Here goes the possible check with the banner. Not going to be able to get it. Too far away, too much pressure coming in. Tons of syringes for Rugby. He's going to hit those fairly shortly, but Sonya not getting in this one.
Yeah. So Ronnie going down here. It's all up to Rugby left. Luckily, you know, there's a lot of ground for them to cover, so he might have an opportunity just to escape. We did see TSM basically in this vicinity, and never mind, Rogue caught up to them. They have to be careful themselves. Team still over at Epicenter, as you can see. Sweet instantly popping that. Took maybe 2 shots there and went right into that queue. That's that Wraith panic button instantly being popped for them. Team Intel, though, in a great position on here on the northeast side. Tempest is in a little bit of trouble, maybe? I don't know exactly how far the other team is. Never mind. He's quite safe here. Swapping on over to NRG, playing over at Frag East, currently in a fight. Rocker was able to get the knock, that one clip onto GS Bird. Now Frex is going to push the issue. He wants to get that thirst and continue the fight against them.
Fortunately for them, only 9 squads alive means that you have less of a chance of getting third-partied, but Intel finds themselves in a pretty interesting situation over here. There's a team that came around the corner, hits a scan, and then ends up running away for some reason, while they still had a team of 3. So it wasn't like Intel showed a crazy amount of presence. They don't have any fences up, no generator. I don't even think shots were fired, but there goes Sentinels, really sending it in on a Team Rice Krispie Treats. Unfortunate for them that they haven't been able to get the momentum that they need, but Intel has been looking the strongest right now out of our partner teams, and they're trying to keep up what they've been starting with, and that's getting their way towards the end zones. Not putting up a ton of kills, but they've been picking up a decent amount on the way.
NRG with the Death Totem down now. They will continue this push. Remember, they started off with that knock. Sentinels even came in, taking out Stunny. And so Rice Krispies in a lot of trouble at this point. They swap positions as NRG now have to try and regain control of the other building. Here comes the defensive bombardment from Rocker. See if he can find anything, but no, there's another team possibly coming in from another side. They do have the stairwell, no big push. It's just a trade for now of damage. As once again with Team Intel, they're just controlling the northeast side of the map right now. No big threat there. Never mind. They've got someone right in front of them. Teen, but the Prowler gets some decent damage off and pushes that player away.
Looks like they just want to continue to hold this high ground area, and I don't blame them because this whole backside is going to be clear, and you could really focus teams down over towards that fragment side, but looks like Nocturnal gets a down onto Rocker, and the finish comes in through from Retsy's side. So these two teams are still next to each other, and I think that was happening over towards the fragment side. Meanwhile, Crust finds Frex and then takes him down instantly. Look at these Hemlock shots coming in from Hill as this team pushes over towards the blue truck and trailer and takes over that spot. Curious to see if Tempest is going to continue to put down fences or some sort of generator, because this is a tough spot to be in. You are kind of separated right here, and that's what teams realizing. They get a little bit closer together, play around the bubble, and now you have to. Both bubbles getting played and all-out brawl happening over here. It's going to be Rogue.
Yeah, dropped massive damage with that Mastiff Teen. It's a 1v3, won't be able to do anything at all. It's Rogue who's been running over the northern teams so far. As we take a look over at Frag, Rogue, go ahead and pop those barrels to try and slow down team that's coming in for the third party right now. It is TSM. Imperial House starts it all off. Drop goes down. Rogue did not have enough time to fully heal and reset for themselves. Fun is just caught out by himself as Sweet was able to queue on away. And so he's going to be left to try and rat, as we are prone to see of rates. Oh, surviving 4 now with that bubble and snipe down. Ooh, living up to that name.
Nice shots there. Hal, he's not afraid. He's going to drop down and get that extra kill point there. Meanwhile, Hakulo helps get the finish. So there are teams watching over towards that bridge area, which means TSM has to play a little safer. They've created a lot of noise and commotion, which is going to have eyes on them. And now Razor, with just 2 people, we saw Zeratricky drop early. It was a nice move by Hakulo and by Mercy to get out as we take a look at the team trackers. The teams that have the extra white slash have more players alive. So when you see all of those grayed out area, that means that team is dead and has been eliminated. So Razor 2 players, obviously. Rice Krispie Treats with 1. Team Liquid with the duo. So a lot of these teams are broken and a little bit weak compared to a team like TSM, who has taken out the biggest threat now. Like you said, Jamerson, Rogue really doing damage towards the north side, and TSM puts a halt to that.
I was wondering where TSM was that entire time. We saw them, of course, have that early fight over basically by Refinery now, as Hal will be able to finish off. Dropped. Mercy only tries to go for the Kraber shots, but it's okay. Mr. Hakulo there is going to go ahead and push up aggressively. And, you know, they're not playing like they're a 3-man, a 2-man. They are playing like a 3-man. They are showing a lot of presence. They get that last kill onto Sung. And now it looks like Retzy himself will also finish off NRG. So with Sentinels come back into this right now, it's anyone's game.
Razor could get lucky and have the circle pull towards their side. I feel like it's going to go more towards like under the bridge and over towards the train. But I know there is a circle that's kind of in this vicinity. So we'll see. It does pull over towards their side. So my brain still has a little bit of cells left from from all the Apex that I've played and all the casting that I've been doing. But I love the position for Razor here, and I think that if they work together, they could keep a lot of these teams in front of them. The only thing that they have is TSM to worry about, and TSM knows how to play these zones. So we'll see what angle they like to come from. You have one 3-man team over towards the side, one 3-man team starting to approach over towards the north side of that circle, which actually would be the south side because these guys are on the north side, but they have to play together here. It's all up to Mercy hitting these scans. Will they have the Beast of the Hunt coming up when the circle closes? That will be big for them to get information.
And that is TSM that's pushing up on their position right now. Imperial Hound does get the port down for his squad, ready to try and take this 2v3 as he slowly advances up on that position. He does have the Prowler out, and they are all here on the right-hand side as Reps with that wingman as they are looking to gain control of the northern side of the ring. There's 23 seconds left before that one starts closing, and they have been able to force Team Razor out of that position for now. But it's really about controlling this area, making sure your back is clear. They'll be able to walk this in with that Gibraltar bubble.
5 seconds on the Beast of the Hunt is going to be perfect timing for Snipe down 2, so he's going to pop that right when the zone closes. And 4 kills on Hal, so Hal's going to know how to rotate from here. They're going to take this high ground, they're going to play on top of the bridge and force teams down below. The only thing that would stop these guys is a defensive bombardment, which means Reps would have to use his bubble. And that's exactly what happened. Reps has to bubble. There's a grenade inside too. So whoever threw that, nice job by them. Meanwhile, Retzi gonna finish off CLG Pow Pow, who's the last player alive on that team. But here comes the push over towards the bridge. This is big for TSM to win this.
Their bubble is down though, and the bubble has been used on the other side. Razor in a fight of their own here on the low ground, but they're trying to get involved. Try to get a knock onto the teams on the bridge. Hal with that massive. TSM have lost one, but Hal is still mowing them down. It's all up to Reps here on that Gibraltar. He might have the armor swap, and so we'll see. There we go. Going for the res now. 5 scanned right in front of Mercy. Only here. We're down to our top 3, and DSM can breathe a sigh of relief that they're the ones that were able to win that fight up on the high ground. They've got cover to work with, and so now with the ring pulling away, though, they should have, of course, multiple tools to work with to get in on this. It's about what these other two teams do. Razor and whomever is on the other side. How hard do they focus on TSM on the high ground?
Oh, well, they should have focused them a long time ago. As soon as you see 2 players from TSM are down, you need to send that. Whether you portal over towards there, if you're Hakulo or whatever it is, you're the only player in position that has the abilities to go and do something there. Mercy probably should have been able to scan that, and there they finished that off. Those are 2 players over towards the side. Both those kills, I think, going on over to Snipe Down. So TSM just racking up some more points here and putting together their best game total. But if you have a duo and you see that TSM is weak, you have to go and try to finish that off. Those were 3 free kill points and the extra placement point there, and eventually you go to just out of 2v2 against Liquid as they had to push up from the high ground and all the way across the map. So unfortunate for Razor, they missed out on that opportunity. Now they're gonna have to go big in this 2 versus 3.
Crossfire was also set up on the right side now as Hakulo now down to a 1v3, and that will be TSM taking game number 4.
Yeah, not surprising there. They played this one so well. You didn't know where they were a majority of the game, and we have all eyes on deck here. We can see where almost all of the team outlines are. So they've been playing this so sneaky over towards the epicenter side, coming with the rotation, push Team Razor off of their spot, and just picked up one of the biggest games we've seen so far today this week.
And we saw the early initiative coming out from TSM, really trying to utilize this composition that they've been toying around with and tweaking for the last couple months now, and it's really come to fruition for them, and they are looking more and more comfortable. I love that they use, of course, seriese to try and get more practice right now. NA scrims, not really a thing, and so this is one of the few places for them to be able to get that kind of practice in. So good early game, and then, of course, just exquisite end game finishing there for TSM, taking their first win today.
Yeah, I just want to know how TSM played that, because this zone ends where they landed, right? So TSM doesn't just sit still and hold a spot and sit in a building and then go and say, okay, we're going to go and finally make this late rotation and get into the spot. That's not the case. They know how to go and clear out these teams. They know where a majority of the kills are going to come from. It's going to happen through rotating towards epicenter, coming and bullying Team Intel, for example, out of that spot and just rotating all throughout that area. It's not surprising, and it's not a coincidence that that's where the teams are. all the good teams are coming in and rotating from that high ground area, because if you're stuck in fragment, you're going with these 50-50s in the buildings, etc. It's not as easy as it is just to clear out over towards the side, come and take the high ground, and then make your way down. But a nice job by TSM overall. We're going to go to a quick break, and then we're going to come through with game 5 of 6. 2 more before we go and hit season 7 and crown our Series E champion for week number 2.
This drop down low. He's got about 30 HP. He tries to pop the Q, but it's going to be awkward to take him out. It's 1-1 as Blitzen goes down on the other side. Comes down to a 2v2, but Sting has taken so much damage now. They're trying to push through that door, but the damage is there. It's another trade coming out now, though. Casellas in a 1v1, and this is going to be massive for them. He goes for that bat. He'll be able to get the heal up. He's going to try and hop out, get the flank from the other side, spots him out, cracks the armor. Welcome back, guys, to Series E. This is week 2, and we are now down to our final 2 games. Let's go ahead and take a look at the leaderboard, Tom, to see where TSM now are. They are tied with Team Intel and Luminosity going down early, not picking up any points there. They have been stalled out at 55 points, allowing other teams to catch up.
That's right. Other teams starting to slide in now. Intel slowed down a little bit too, but TSM jumped, I think, from 11th spot all the way over to 5th now. So you have to watch out for these guys in the kill feed, and we'll see if LG can continue to do well. Again, they lost a player early. I think Sonya dropped. So that made them kind of be in shambles the entire time. They weren't even able to make their rotation over towards that high ground like a lot of these top teams were doing. But the scoreboard getting a little bit interesting now, starting to tighten up after LG with those first 3 games put up so many points.
Yeah, that middle of the pack is the most dangerous part. Na'Vi all the way down to Team Liquid, only split by 8 points. And so Luminosity, they had a strong start. Now they need a strong finish. The strong start does not guarantee you a win here, as we all know. It is a marathon. And with 2 more games to go, TSM are starting to pick up steam.
Yeah, we got to give credit to Team Intel where it's due. Our only partner team on the left side of your screen right now with inside the top 10. Why? Because this lobby is absolutely stacked. This isn't just a finals. This is a finals of the combination of NA and EU almost. And you don't really see these type of things this ridiculously skilled. So a very, very tough lobby, but still Intel locking it down. And they had a disappointing week last week. I'm glad to see them turn it around here. Meanwhile, teams like Razer and Rockstar finding themselves outside of the top 10. I'm expecting them to kind of bounce back here. Again, Rockstar is being contested by Cooler consistently. Cheez-Its being contested a lot as well. So it's tough for them as Third Impact is landing on them. So again, getting your landing spot is crucial. And if you're not able to do so and you're not able to get your feet underneath you, all you're really doing is practicing how it is to fight over towards your spot. You're slowing your rotation down. You're using a lot of your resources. You're possibly getting third-partied. And now through the halfway point and now going into game 5, all these teams are, like you were saying, Jamerson, picking up on this, and the third parties are starting to happen a lot faster now.
Yeah, and with our all the teams that are in the lobby, right? You were talking like they're so strong. Our partner teams, they have to be on point every single time. The teams that are in here are very strong team fighting teams. And so this is going to be valuable fights. And we're seeing a lot of bubble fights, and the margin for error in a bubble fight is absolutely small. So this is good experience for a lot of the partner teams right now. And like you said, really proud of Intel. This is one of the teams that I was really looking out for, and they're really showing up here in week number 2. And so we are getting ready to go into game number 5, our final 2 games of the evening. And we are on board once again with Team Intel. And correct me if I'm wrong, they're not dropping here, right? We saw them at Thermal. I believe in like game number 3. And that is an adjustment they had to make with Sentinels being in the lobby. They cannot take the sorting factory drop.
They take it on Tuesdays, though, and they even got 50-50 on Tuesday yesterday when they were landing there, but they put up such a good fight, and Pringles was so fast as a third party that both teams kind of had respect for one another. Intel continued to drop there, but the other team, I think it was SIZ, started to go more over towards Lava Fisher and challenging another squad. So Intel is going to land over towards the thermal side. If they get a thermal zone, that's going to be big. Not only if they get the zone, but they get the hot spot too. So they may have a little bit of a gold helmet or a gold bag for your boy Gibraltar, which is going to make Hill pretty deadly.
Wait, Rogue is now dropping on Team Rockstar, as we can see Matt Pickett getting finished off. Don't know what happened there. Intel just have a comfortable loop path. They were the last team, of course, essentially. Well, not the last team, because the flight path did go over the south here, as Lion himself getting into a fight with 303. And so a lot of early game fights that we were not expecting.
There's the gold item. It's going to be the armor coming in for Teen. We've seen him with gold armor a couple times today, so the loot really treating these guys well over towards this thermal side. One of the best spots to go and land. Aim assist typically takes that on the NA side, but now Intel going to hop over there. Hakulo, speaking of gold armor, that's another Wraith with 1. NRG getting knocks over towards the fragment side, taking out Pop-Tarts. Unfortunate for Pop-Tarts, Farmer Lucas is the last guy alive. He does get a knock, but Zeratricky and Team Razor in a tricky spot over here, all on the low ground.
Yeah, so an interesting rotation, or I don't know if they just decided to change up their drop. I believe Team Razor go over to sorting, so now they're over here. Mercy only needs some help, though. It doesn't look like he's got any heals to pop currently, as he's just hiding away in his position. It's Zeratrick and Mr. Hakulo here trying to push up. Hakulo took some damage, has to back away. He gets knocked. And what is Na'Vi doing here?
Navi's coming in to spoil the party is what they're doing. And meanwhile, in your kill feed, we did see Team Pop-Tarts drop on over towards NRG. There's also some additional fighting going on between, I think, Team Rockstar and possibly Rogue. So we'll see what happens with Zeratricky as he's getting charged. Na'Vi just going to mop up super fast. All players very healthy. And now we see what's going on the tree side of the map with Team Liquid. So a lot of fights here to start. 303, they're also going to drop. It's going to be Kenny, I think, from Team Applejack. Is going to find a kill over there. Nice job by them. But 3 squads already eliminated. 4 squads eliminated, and the game just started.
You know, players have been asking for a deathmatch mode for a while, and so they just decided to create their own. That's what's going on here, Tom, right now. Team Liquid, though, didn't get the memo, as they're just playing this as standard as you can. Rockstar not able to recover Matt Pickett's banner, and so they'll be playing the rest of this game out as a duo if they're able to play out the rest of this game. Crummy already forced to use that Q now as he backs away. Rice Krispies, we saw them coming in for the third party in the last game as well.
They're hot on the trail, and see Rockstar playing the roof, which is the right play here, but Bird is methodically making his way over. He's doing a nice distraction job. If the other 2 players could go and make a nice little flank, that's exactly what Sung had in mind, and that's going to be the play and lights out for Team Rockstar. So Rice Krispies coming through and being the anti-Rockstar team and coming through with a fast third party. I think this is a very smart play. I think they need as many points as possible, but Pringles on the ropes. Team Liquid coming in with the rotation from Tree and finding them out of position.
Relaily with just the drive-by. Knocks out Casellas. That's going to be instant thirst for them as well. Scanning their back as they themselves are wary of the third party coming in. And all these teams, yeah, you've been talking about it. The moves go in for the third parties have been so fast to try and take advantage of this right now. It's just the full W key lobby here is now Liquid are the ones that are trying to push up and getting decent damage off with that G7 Scout. Flanker, though, not able to get critical damage, and so Liquid are just happy to be able to thwart that and back away. But now they want to make sure, of course, they don't get the res. They're going to follow up, and they are on the hunt once again. The Gibraltar is going to try to run away, but Flanker should be able to get this knock if he didn't have to reload. And now he's just stuck inside this building. So that's going to be it. Liquid take this. It's going to be Senox to go down. Were Sentinels just split on that push?
I don't know, but that's such a cool Bloodhound skin. I love that one. Nice job by Flanker finishing that one off. You can see the team's really starting to play aggressive energies. They've rotated over towards the fragment side of this zone. We haven't seen a scan yet because all we've been seeing is fighting back and forth. They're over to where the building TSM likes to hold when it is on this side. They're busting out the Revenant, though. Frex switching it up a little bit. They've already picked up a couple kills on the team Pop-Tarts, but that Death Totem is down, and they've lost a decent amount of health because of that one. Gonna have to syringe up right now if you're Frex.
Yeah, their economy situation not looking strong. A clip and 2/3 there basically left on that R301, so we'll see what he swaps off to. They will be able to find some meds on board with Intel, who are down here by Harvester in a fight of their own. Full team across the ways currently, as these fights tend to take a little bit longer, and it looks like Hill might just allow them to just leave. They do have the option, of course, just backing out from the other side, go all the way over to sorting, peek on over, dishing out a lot of damage. Hill instantly pushes forward now. He wants to try to get this knock, considering using that defensive bombardment just to cut them off and keep them in this building here. We'll see if it reaches all the way across. The team has already slid into the other building, though, so they have to continue this pursuit now. It's Team leading the charge here, giving himself a wide berth, making sure he doesn't get slowed down. And oh boy, another team coming in, quite possibly. So Intel will just have to slow things down and just bunker up here at the bottom of this tunnel.
Gonna hit a whole Phoenix kit right there, and look at these shots coming in from Applejacks, taking him down. It's gonna be Kenny getting the knock. Two teams over in the vicinity. Nice job by Applejacks coming and turning it back on to Team Intel, and it looks like they're gonna take a far left rotation and flank around. Meanwhile, another team coming over towards the top. Tempest gets the knock. That's gonna be Liquid. So again, 3 teams over here. And poor Intel having to deal with this because they're directly in the middle. Here comes the second flank. Gonna be Kenny again, who got the early knock. Clane gonna find one on a Tempest. Keep in mind, Liquid still is here somewhere. That fence that Tempest put up is doing some pretty good damage, but that's not enough, as all the players still very healthy on the Applejack side. Not sure what happened to Team Liquid or where they went.
Yeah, maybe they just grabbed the banner and got out of there. We saw Almalele, I believe, getting thirsted now on board with Rice Krispies, who have made their way north up to Fragment. They've got a team in front of them, in front of Diner, as Sung pops out at scan. I'm gonna slow things down for now, as the port play is being made by Stunny. See exactly what he's going for, if it's a rotation or if it's going to be just an aggressive play. It looks like they're just rotating out from this, as Reps finds himself in front of NRG. Will be able to take out Rocker.
Not sure if he got all the players right there. Reps possibly with a big 3 versus 1. Third impacts in the vicinity, though. You can see Jazaz getting the finish on a snipe down. On to Hal. Reps still is alive somewhere. Probably ratting it out. Nice job by him, but Na'Vi going to come in with the finish too. So TSM not going to be able to get back-to-back wins here. Continue to boost their point standings and climb in the leaderboard. Instead, possibly could be LG. Maybe another team, but Rice Krispies hitting that bubble scan. Let's try to find out where this next zone is. Going to give us a lot of information.
And it looks like we have another frag ending. We'll see which side this goes on, but again, we saw it earlier going over to that beacon as we join Stink on Team Pringles. The only one alive for his team, wasn't able to recover the banners, and in a difficult spot, trying to rat this out as a Watson currently. He does have, of course, this entire side of the ring. Don't know if anyone's going to be patrolling out here, so he'll be able to survive a little bit longer. But it's ultimately to how high can he place for his squad.
Yeah, I like this play coming in from Stink, just to play on the edge. When you're a rat inside the middle, it makes it pretty difficult. So heads up play by him. And now we're looking at CLG, who they're playing their normal composition. They're not trolling. It's just that tough of a lobby, right? They're finding themselves right around that 16th area right now, and it's our second most winning team in North America, right behind TSM in 16th place. That's just goes to show you how stacked this really is. Meanwhile, Na'Vi getting pushed by the other EU team. It's going to be Nasty on Cooler with the initial knock. That nade gets eaten. Wow, somehow a frag makes it in somehow through the window, through the walls. I'm not sure
boy, third
what the
party
heck
coming
happened
in,
right
though.
there from Cooler.
As now Yuki is down. How's third impact coming in? Nasky will be the next to fall, and it's all up to Sir Dell here in the bubble fight, but it's a 3v1, and he will go down. Third impact take the third party win there, and it's Ziki who is now the kill leader.
People really want to get inside this building. I'm just so confused how that frag nade made it through when there's a Watson gen sitting right there. Somehow Nasky just threw, I don't know. It has to be some magic, formula that he drank or potion beforehand to make it invincible to the generators. But it's nice to see NPL here inside a building playing it safe, but Applejack's not playing it safe. They're getting into a little duel over here. I like the portal play, and I also really like that play from Lion to sit there and just make the cover for his teammates to get out. But Nocturnal from Liquid, not slowing down. Amazing shots from Lion with the 3x. That should back these guys off just temporarily and reset on knocks on both sides. But Albrelli pushing aggressively.
Oh, and he does punish, gets that res once again, but now he's in some trouble as Lion turns around on him, as we should see Kenny just backing away for now, uses the cover of the car. I don't know if they were able to recover on the other side, so yeah, it is going to be just Kenny here playing behind as things have slowed down. They're actually giving him time to heal up. It's the 1v1
Res.
as we're just getting scans from either side. Might try to pop him with that audio cue, try to bait him out now. We've got information as well from the high ground as he's able to just lay into him with that bolt. He charges forward. Flanker tries to use the head glitch as best as he can, but the HP is in favor of Kenny right now, and Kenny will survive, win that fight. And now he's a little bit worried. Okay, goes for the res onto Klain.
Nice job there by Kenny with the Volt. Bloodhound on Bloodhound action there. The scans came through. Flanker had the advantage. He had Beast of the Hunt and Kenny didn't. But Kenny just hit him so hard with that Volt, it made it nearly impossible. Sometimes when your teammates tell you to play behind your knock shield, it makes it difficult because you're just jumping and peek shooting, but the other team and the other players are going to be able to take whatever angles they want to go around the knockdown shield. And we look at what Rice Krispies doing. They're still on the high ground on top of this building over here as we have another fragment circle. It's not going to be in the open where that nade was about to go. It's going to be more over towards this west side. But I still like this building. You're going to be able to gatekeep a lot of these teams. This team that's stuck inside train station is most likely going to have to deal with one other team, which means once that happens, Rice Krispie Treats is going to be able to pounce on that, possibly with a portal from Stunny.
6 squads, 16 players remaining, so the Rat still surviving. Don't know if he'll be able to make it in from train. It's third impact. Now making the push here. There's a Caustic slowing them down. They haven't used the Revenant portal. Revenant totem. They don't have it. Just go ahead and toss in the nades and hope to connect. Don't give him any more tools. At this point, he does have the digital threat though, and it's a little bit difficult for him to see through all that. There is some cover for them to work with. There it is. He gets the knock, and they're just slowly choking out LG. Sonya goes down. Ronnie's next. Now there's just one final player remaining. Ziki will be able to finish them off, and now LG only making it into the top 6.
Not sure how Rice Krispie Treats is getting down in this type of instance. Meanwhile, NPL starting to infiltrate. You also have a fight going on with Applejacks over here. Nice shots right there with the Eve 8 and the purple bolt coming in from Ronnie. But you have Lion coming in with the Mastiff instead. He's going to get 2 finishes right there. And Ronnie goes in last guy alive in a huge fight. There's at least 4 teams inside this building. Third Impact comes in with another third party.
Yeah, Jazaz will be able to get the armor swap as well. He was the lowest on HP. Should be able to heal that right on up. 3 squads left. And I think the wrap might have worked, getting the top 3 quite possibly. If we can swap around and see exactly where we are, what teams are remaining. There's one on the low ground. That's Klain leading out. Now, they're just playing with their food at this point.
Great job by Third Impact. This is an aggressive game. All the teams probably made a pact to go and charge one another so they could speed this one up and get ready because in 30 minutes, new season is dropping. But Revenant on Third Impact. Zicky trying to get the 10 bomb. Will he be able to do it? That's going to be tough, and he gets 9 instead. Nice job by Third Impact. Big game from them. They were also within the top 10, so maybe we'll see them slide up the leaderboard and make a contestation against LG.
Yeah, someone says in chat, Infinity third party. That's basically what this was. It was a chain of third parties as teams were rotating and chasing others. They instead ended up getting involved in third parties again and again. This was the closest we could have gone to an Apex deathmatch, I believe, that the pros have been asking for a long time. Well, that was game number 5. We're going to go ahead and update the leaderboards, take a short break, and when we get back, it'll be the final game of the evening here at Series E. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back.
Starting with Stink, is there anybody that you want to give a shout out to or just say what's up to?
What up, Mom? I guess. Shout out my mom.
Dope. All right, Casellas, what about you?
Honestly, I would like to shout out my old team just because of how much I grew as a player playing with that old team. So I am who I am because of that old team as well. And I feel like that really transfers over to being better.
So, I feel like I'm about to get an Eminem. I am whatever I say I am. I love it. All right, Hundreds, what about you, man?
Shoot, man. Shout outs to Esports Arena and Series E and all of this. Like, the opportunity is great. I think it's amazing for tier 2 teams and players to be able to compete in lobbies like this and given the chance to represent these brands that I know for a fact, like, I could compete for the next 5 years. I probably would never get a Pringles sponsorship, you know? So the opportunities there, everybody involved in Apex Legends and just trying to grow the competitive community, whether you know it's through EA and Respawn or just any of the people that are competing. They're the ones kind of giving life to all of this, and you know we all love Apex and we just want to see it grow. So shout outs to everybody involved in the community. Also anybody on Twitch who's watching Apex. That's a big deal.
Hell yeah, man. I appreciate that, Hundreds. Guys, you guys rock. Team Pringles going to pop off here in Series E. Can't wait to watch you guys play. And it's going to be exciting.
Thank
Let's
you.
go.
Thank you.
T minus 32 seconds, or 32 minutes, excuse me, for what everyone's been waiting for. Season 7 coming around just around the corner. That means we can fit in one more game. Hey, it's kind of like we planned it out and cut out 2 games for the evening just so we can get ready for this. It's the final game of the evening here at Series E. We're seeing some great stuff out of Team Intel, but it's been the EU squad's night so far, Tom.
Yeah, and we're going to see the leaderboard here very shortly. It's going to live populate as we continue to talk about what's happening, but it's been the story of the EU squads coming through super strong. Intel still kind of hanging in there within striking distance to possibly win this thing, but what's great for Team Intel and bad for the other partner teams here is that Intel is going to continue to bump their overall point standings up because keep in mind, not only do we have this going on, but there's also a little bit of a overall leaderboard between all of the partner teams that qualified through Series E through the 4-week qualification process. We're just in week 2 here, and we do every Tuesday and Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah, and so there it is. That is the up-to-date leaderboards currently. Luminosity still in the lead, 63 points now, but Third Impact there, sitting at 51. And Rogue and Na'Vi tied for 3rd place with 40 points, but just behind them, TSM and Team Intel. But I think Luminosity, they're very close to just being able to close this out, but it's Third Impact who had a massive game number 5 there. So that's the biggest worry that Luminosity have in front of them.
Yeah, you really have to worry about all top 6 teams here, even going all the way down to Team Intel, because when you do the math, it could be around a 25-point game. As long as Luminosity doesn't just drop the ball here and do something like they did in game number 4, they should be fine. But they were able to pick up, I think, around 8 points that last game, which isn't that bad. But when they pick up 55 to start the first 3, you wonder how many they just could have got, possibly set maybe a record over the 6 games. But we're going to get ready to drop into this one very shortly. Just keep out for those top 6 teams. And remember, the top 2 teams that finish are the teams that are winning money.
Yeah, that's the important part. The top 2 teams, and so it's going to be a race for that, and might be a race for second. We'll see what happens to Luminosity. Their early game and their mid game has been a bit more difficult. I would say the first 2 were definitely much easier for them, able to get that back to back. As we are just getting everyone into the lobby right now to start off the final game of the evening, is going to be team deathmatch once again. Very rarely do we see, what was it, 4, 5 teams left in like ring number 5 there. So that's a new one.
Yeah, all the teams may just decide to land Fragment East and Fragment West for the heck of it, for one last brawl. Maybe they just go fists only and have a boxing match to end this one out. I think that'd be a lot of fun. But we'll see who comes out and plays hot and plays aggressive. All the teams going to be team fighting very fast. It's going to run almost like a rank match here, and it's pretty exciting. I feel like that's how Apex should be played. I almost enjoy it when teams aren't splitting buildings and it doesn't come down to these crazy portal plays. I know I saw a really great tweet from Snipe Down that was talking about really changing the way that the end circles play here, where it's just a static end zone. Maybe it kind of closes in and moves together, or something along those lines, where you just don't have to have these 50-50s, but not just 50-50s, it's with 3 or 4 different teams. So it makes it a little bit too hectic. And sometimes the best team in terms of team fighting doesn't actually win. It's just kind of random in terms of who collapses on one another and who shoots each other first.
Yeah, there's been a lot of ideas, right? Some people say they want the moving Fortnite circles. Other people say they want the PUBG really slow late game circle. We don't know what the answer is quite yet, but I am definitely down to experiment. I'd love to see how that all plays out, especially with the big changes that are coming to Season 7. I think there are some really big changes for Season 7 that will change how teams play. Team Pringles, so we're going to join here for game number 6 at the beginning.
Yeah, Team Pringles have been highlighting them all week because it is Pringles week, and I think I ate like 6 things of Pringles in the last couple of days. I don't know. I think I fell in love with the barbecue ones because I just love barbecue anything. But either way, we'll see what Pringles does. They've been hot on the trail for third parties over towards Sorting Factory side. They haven't made their way over towards Lava City. It's been Nestle Pure Life that's been making the rotation, I think, from Geyser on over to Lava City to go and kind of mess with Team Rockstar. So Team Rockstar has just been being picked on Wednesdays. They haven't been able to get their footing at all. And it's been, I think, Team Intel and Team Applejacks impressing the most today. We'll see what Team Pringles is going to be able to do.
Yeah, I think the worst thing for like Team Rockstar is that they're literally just backed up into a corner. Because not only are they in Lava City, they're taking the eastern side of Lava City. So Cooler are just stopping them from trying to get in at all. It's Pringles who does have options to work with, of course, but they've got a lot of very scary competitive teams around their drop, right? You have to worry about Sentinels. You have to worry about Liquid on your rotation. So timing is everything when you're trying to get out of your drop.
Yeah, look at these beautiful shots, just showcasing where these guys are going to be landing over towards. And I feel like I've never seen so many pictures of this map roll in one area. It's like it's on a loop or something like that. But there we go. And now we got the teams landing in, and it's going to be Stink, our boy Stink. But we all know what's going on with Third Impact and Cheez-Its. They've been fighting it out for quite some time. Meanwhile, you're going to have Liquid getting the finisher onto Lion. So that's 2 games in a row that we've seen instant finishers coming in. I think Liquid's just griefing whoever's game they feel like it.
Yeah, they're at sorting. They're just at sorting. I think they're just, full 3-man dropping on people now. And
Octane, you have Octane and Bangalore over here coming through from the Team Liquid squad, so they're having fun with it. The only one that hasn't changed characters or legends so far has been Albrulelli, so we'll see what happens if Octane makes it into the meta after this update. Keep in mind his stem is going to work twice as fast over here. Cheez-Its, again, going up against Third Impact. Meanwhile, Hal's sent it on over towards the side of Team Pop-Tarts, and all hell breaking loose. All teams dropping on one another. The Revenant now has silenced this Wraith. Strictly has nothing else to do besides turn around and fight. It was a nice 98, but NPL, the third-party masters, coming through and just ruining everybody's day.
All right, Ava, you got to calm down. Teams are just dropping full 3-mans, all right? Do not blame anything on our spectators. There's no way anyone can spectate this right now. They're trying their best. Oh, Liquid now in a fight with Sentinel. CLG find themselves in a fight as well. Cooler have dropped upon them. And what the hell is going on?
Just fight after fight, the things that you love to see. Now it's up to Madness. He's gonna have to do a spectacular play. Those shots were ridiculous. He punches him off, says see you later, has to deal with somebody else. Is he gonna punch this guy off too? Kung Fu fighting happening over here for Madness, and he hits him with the high kick.
Oh boy. All right, one more fight. We can do this, Okay, Ronnie. Ooh, okay, taking out Jazaz. And now it looks like NPL coming in for, I don't even know what this would be at this point. The fifth party.
Survey.
It's just a massacre.
Survey's lit.
Gambino. We're down to 11 squads now, Tom.
Half the team's eliminated, and NPL showing a little disrespect over towards the third impact side, and getting a lot of resources too. Bambino with the controller looting, taking his sweet time like always, and picking up whatever he wants to get. But what a way to start this one as we take a look at what's going on with Intel, and even they're in a fight towards the thermal side. So every single part of World's Edge really getting some action, getting some love. And this is how games 6 and games 8 typically go, but this is basically twice as fast as we've ever seen, and it's been pretty fun to watch. But look at those shots from Teen. Nasty spray. He gets ripped too somehow across the map, but that was the Havoc with the purple mag. He was locking that thing down like it was the Volt. Amazing, amazing recoil control from Teen.
Yeah, I believe there are also Havoc changes coming in with Season 7 with the recoil control. I think it was a horizontal change for that one. I'm trying to exactly remember. I can't right now. Intel are happy to see everyone just kind of die off at this point. They're not happy that LG didn't go down during that entire clown fiesta of an early game, and they're just gonna back away from thermal here as we join Team Pringles. We're looking for a fight of their own. The scan comes out now. 100's already getting a knock, and oh, Casello's. Yeah. Yeah.
Hit him with the axe, man. Poor Retzi. Poor Retzi. Just getting hounded on by Casellos, and now Stink gonna push in with his team too from the roof side. They're gonna try to flank these players down low. I like this play from Stink, taking it off angle. He's gonna drop down. Perfect timing from these guys going on over towards the door. Yeah, some nice initial damage coming in from Senox, but it's not gonna be enough, as Stink is gonna have the support there from his 2 teammates. Now just a 3-on-1 for Sentinels, as they now have to deal with Team Pringles hunting them down, but it's Crust on this Pathfinder getting the high ground. So fortunately, no other players in the vicinity on Pathfinder. He should be safe for now.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I've checked out. Just like half of our players so far now. 11 squads down, or excuse me, down to 11 squads here. As Team Intel are still taking this seriously, they spotted out a team over by Tree. Here comes Teen with the port to get his team onto the low ground, give them an option out as well. Arcstar laying on top of that roof. We'll clear it for now. Do you see the full 3 men on the other side? Teen buys some time for his team to join him here, but Hill has taken so much damage, he might just have to take the port back and heal up once again, and Teen is giving that option himself. It's Tempest taking the rooftop. He gets the knock onto Sung. Doesn't stick around for too long. He just changes position with Teen, who also gets down a lot of damage. Tempest is going to go for the heals while Hill comes in to back up his squad. And there we go with the Mozambique. It's not going to be enough. He goes down. Tempest and Hill now with only 60 HP between the two of them, as they just back away from this. There is a bat in his hand. He's got that to work with. Hill throwing down that ultimate will buy him time. Hill just keeping an eye on the door for now. He is the tankier of the two. Might swap positions or just go for the double peek.
There you go. Oof, I was worried he was going to take a cell. Let's have that player that was over towards the right-hand side. That guy dipped out. Now the cells are basically useless. The thirst coming in a Teen, which means the armor swap's going to come in, and they don't have any health meds. Super unfortunate that this player has a purple knockdown shield over at the door, which is the ideal setup. No third party coming in quite yet. Tempest does have a battery. There's the medkit coming in, and now the third party starts to come in. Hal finishes off Rack and Ishu. That's going to be Team Rockstar dying, and now Intel stuck inside this building. Dracos gets a knock right there on to snipe down. He'll find Stunny. They finally finish these two guys, and now they're trying to take this portal out of here, but they are sandwiched. LG's in the vicinity. Another team is there, and now two teams over towards the back tree side. It's going to be Team Pringles.
There's just, I can't right now. LG, of course, taking out one of the major competitors here in Intel, and so they don't have to worry about them currently. And as you can see, the ring is pulling down to the south. We saw this ring where TSM were able to play off of this last week. This was an interesting one.
Yeah, it'll help if we see the actual overall map, but a scan would be amazing here and give us an idea. I really don't think the zone is going to matter that much because these teams are just going all for it right now. But yeah, this one's most likely going to pull over towards where that eye is in Thermal Station and going to be right below that bridge area, that high ground fence area where a couple of teams could split. About 2 teams can hold that area. Another team holds underneath the bridge. And there's a couple other spots too that you could hold off angles on, but another team bites the dust. That's going to be Team Rockstar. Ronnie going to finish him off. A little bit of help from TSM. Now we're taking a look at where TSM is. Hal already got that red Evo armor. Not too surprised since he's got 4 kills, and he's rocking the flatline. We were talking about the flatline yesterday when Tush and I were casting, and how Hal did kind of adapt that into his play style once the R9 was taken out, and he's rocking the 2X on that. So a pretty underrated gun. Like to see him put that to use.
Yeah, there was a meta for the flatline for a while, and then people just fell back out of love with it. We have 4 teams here in the south, 3 teams in the north, so TSM are looking to clean that one up right now. It's Team Pringles who have this high ground position controlling the connector between Thermal and Tree currently. It's LG stuck inside the house right now. Remember, LG are currently in first place. They want to just end this night strong, get the W, or at least get the overall tournament win. They're in a very strong position to do so.
Yeah, I would love to see Stink utilize his thermite grenade that he has. As soon as they get the scan, that should be a big opportunity for Stink to do some sort of damage here. He's just going to try to get eyes on the player right there, but one thermite grenade is all you need in that window to start making your way over towards the stairs or that opposite door. But they're going to make a rotation and come over towards the ramp side instead. And while they're doing that, they're also turning their back, and it's going to be punished by LG. Ronnie getting the knock on the Stink.
Oh boy, and instantly they want to push that advantage here, as right now it's just Stink on the ground and can't do anything for his team. It's LG.
They're done though.
They're slowing down. They're not going to do anything at all. They're getting pushed now. Nades are coming in. The caustic from Sonya doing so much for them, slowing down this push from the other squad.
Wow, I can't believe that Pringles is slowly but surely getting out of this situation because of the knock that just happened. But the purple knockdown shield proving very useful. You also have another team that's putting pressure onto LG, so that's why they had to go and pop that ultimate, the EMP coming in from Ronnie. But spot on, Jamerson, the caustic really making it difficult to go and push the bottom of that building, and Sonya gonna go hide into his barrel and try to be invisible right there as an ult cell is gonna be popped. So it'll be nice to get your drone back here and be able to enter that and try to find out exactly where these players are, but you're seeing a very similar situation to where there's a player on the ledge right there, and then you're gonna have Team Pringles waiting a third party if these teams go at it right here.
And Team Pringles were able to recover. That's the most important part, getting their third player back into this game fully healed up. And so what could have been LG getting a full team wipe, now they have to worry about getting pushed by 2 separate squads, as we do have that ring information. Ring is closing, and so it does come down more to the southern side here. I don't know about that one afterwards. We're down to 6 squads. It's all full 3-man squads remaining here, as I believe it's going to be 3 to the south, 3 to the north. Currently, TSM were patrolling that area the last time we saw them.
Could be TSM putting pressure on that building where LG is too, though, so remains to be seen where the rest of these guys are located. But super fortunate for Team Pringles that Stink is back in this one, because you're going to need your Gibraltar on this circle. Gibraltar probably second most valuable after Wraith in this team composition. Yeah, Bloodhound does his thing. He hits his scans and things like that. But really, it's TSM getting a knocks on a Navi right there. It's Stink in this Gibraltar that's going to be the glue that holds these two players together next to them. So we'll see what happens because they're in a great spot right now after getting that and getting out of this building. But it looks like the other team may have left and said, LG, you can have this building. We'll take the high ground, take the choke, make a different rotation. And slow down a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's important to have backed away from that one, control the Southern's high ground, leave yourself the option of just getting out of there instead of hard committing. NPL, though, now dropping down to the low ground to get into the ring. Oh, Sanox was able to get that knock onto Max Strafe, and so Na'Vi in a lot of trouble. They're just down to a solo as Strafe gets finished off.
Yeah, but that was a great res from the Sorting Factory side, right? I believe that was this game where it was just one player alive, crouching up on the top side. He's able to get both of those players up. Meanwhile, Draco's going to dip out of here, hit that grapple, and reset. As we take a look at what Pringles is doing, they're still flirting with the team over next door. Nothing really going on over here, just a little bit of door opening and closing. Surprised that they didn't send it even harder on the MPL side. You saw that defensive bombardment come through and they backed off a little bit. Meanwhile, Snipe Down going to finish off the last player on. I believe that's going to be Na'Vi. Now 5 squads remain.
Yeah, NPL with full control over the north-hand side, and we'll find out in a short minute here if the ring pulls up to the north or if it continues to pull down to the south, as NPL are sitting pretty. They've got the PK, a Volt, gold armors, and Ronnie getting closer. Oh, there's a team right on top of them. They have to be careful here. They do see the Watson traps, and so now they are stuck inside this building. And now what is the play? Will they try to use the Gibraltar ultimate? If we can swap on over to see exactly what that is like for them.
And you don't block the door, this is what happens. The rule is to block each door. The fact that no one's over here where Crust is making the perfect play, and that's what happens. That's how you get clapped.
Yeah, just a free opening for Sentinels to come in. And remember, we were talking about it. Yeah, they were able to recover. Oh, no. So Retsy's back on out, and Crust now wants to get revenge for his brother. We'll be able to finish off Nestle Pure Life. We'll see if they've got a mobile respawn beacon. If we could take a look at the map to see if there is a respawn beacon still available, but not in a position that's recoverable.
I was not expecting it to go over towards these houses, and now Pringles is going to be sitting pretty over here. Is it going to be Team Pringles during Pringles Week, winning the last game of Season 6? They're trying pretty hard over here as they stack up in a nerdy spot.
Yeah. If it is, it's scripted. If it isn't, then it's just how it worked out. We've got, it looks like, yeah, all full squads except for Sentinels, who did lose Retsy during all of that. I don't know if they had a mobile respawn beacon or anything to try and recover. Doesn't look like it so far. It's TSM now making the moves here, as they're here on the northern side, and they're trying to gatekeep Sentinels.
Yeah, they're going to do a pretty good job of it, too, because I love the combination that Hal has. The 2x flatline with the PK here is the perfect mid-range, close-range combination. You see the flying in coming in. Pretty sure that's going to be Crust from Sentinels in the vicinity. He's going to get knocked. That blue skin gave that one away, but Senox is there to follow up damage. It's going to be trade coming in from both sides, but TSM gets the fast res, and they're going to be A-okay. The other two teams are fighting it out, though. It's going to be LG going up against Team Pringles, trying to ruin the script. I don't think they got the net. They got the paperwork, but apparently Hundreds doing whatever he can to live, and now TSM is going to reap the most benefits out of this because they're not even involved in this fight, and they're going to be able to full heal coming in super healthy.
Full heal, and it's duos on either side here, and so TSM have the numbers to work with, as they will be able to finish off LG. Pringles now down into a 2v3. Casellas will pop that Phoenix, but again, it's a 2v3 versus TSM. They've got all the info as the scan comes in. Casellas pushes forward with him, but nope, TSM will be able to finish this one off. But with LG surviving into the top 3 there, I think they walk away with the victory.
Nice job there by TSM. I really love the way that all those teams were playing that one. But Team Pringles, you're not going to be able to win a 2 versus 3 against one of the best teams in the world. You can just see how easy it is to collapse on a duo right there when you're going and hitting that Bloodhound scan, just like Snipedown was doing. They tried to set it on Hal outside the corner, which is the right play. You could go send 2 players onto one, but Hal is just so dodgy. You saw the strafing, the crouching, all the plays that a Wraith needs to do to be slippery is what he was able to do. But I feel like LG had enough points to go and win this one. TSM, did they get enough kills to bump into second place or possibly overtake first? We'll see in a second.
The most important part and the most impressive part is that our players got us through 6 games in less than 3 hours. So here we are with 10 minutes left to spare. So they really are just prepped for the new season.
Yeah, you love to see it. They're getting ready. I think we all are. Again, it's 10 minutes away, so make sure you guys get ready. And you can play the game on Steam now, which is super, super exciting as we go and take a look at some of these replays that happened today during Series Z Week 2, day number 2. Hal with the flatline, with the PK coming through and just ripping Crust apart. Unfortunate for Sentinels that they had a little bit of a tough break as they had to get a res over towards the sorting factory side, and they were only able to do this with a duo. But it was TSM cleaning this fight that won them the game, because on the other side, it was Team Pringles taking on LG, who's in first place. Winning this fight is super clutch, but losing Stink is unfortunate, and it left them in a very tough situation.
Yeah, the timing on the fight just came at the absolute worst time. TSM easily able to come in for the third party afterwards and finish it all out. I mean, one thing, biggest takeaway for me is just that I want the PK back on the floor loot. It's got such a cool animation after every single shot.
It really does.
Hal just made it look so cool right there at the end. Hal's such a cool guy.
It's the pump action, man. The Mastiff, it just isn't the same. But either way, they're both really fun guns to use. R9 coming back is what makes me the happiest out of anything. No longer have to hip fire my R301 or rock the Prowler or the Flatline or anything like that. R9 definitely one of my favorite guns overall. But what a fantastic display coming in from TSM, finishing it off with 2 wins. Also, LG starting the day off with 2 wins. We saw some great highlights from some of our partner teams, like Team Intel was doing fairly well. I like the adjustments that NPL was making, but I really feel for Team Rockstar. They've been getting 50-50 over towards Lava City and stuck in the corner so often.
Cooler definitely not making any friends with Team Rockstar right now. And yeah, but we said it at the beginning of the broadcast, right? In these lobbies, you have to learn how to adjust and being able to take advantage of that third party. If you know that it's coming, that's information you're playing off. And so you need to do that. So yeah, big props to NPL for really taking advantage of that situation. And they did what, like 3 games in a row where they came in for that third party, and Cooler and Rockstar both committed into that.
Yeah, we can't forget about how Cooler played pretty decent, but Third Impact stepped it up as well. I really liked how they were doing it. Navi was putting themselves in pretty good positions. I think at one point we had 4 of our 7, or 4 of our 4, all 4 of our EU teams, excuse me, were inside the top 7 at around game number 4 mark. So they really showed out today and were able to put on a great performance. But I think overall it had to be LG that took this victory. Again, I think that the race was over for second place. The fact that LG put themselves in the top 3, even though they didn't win that fight against Team Pringles, had to give them enough points going forward.
Yeah, I believe we have most of the points accrued. I'm just waiting for the final call from our admins, and we do have the leaderboard. And I don't think it's to anyone's surprise, it is going to be LG walking away with the victory. We're going to go ahead and refresh that because that's not the exact point total. LG is in first place with 72 points, and it's TSM coming in second with 62.
Yeah, that's how big that win was from TSM. They just ended so well. 2 out of the 3 games after halftime, they take and they won one over towards the fragment side and put on a clinic on how you rotate over towards epicenter, take the high ground, and swoop right back down. That's how you end up picking up a lot of kills that you need, and don't just put yourself in a building where you're stuck on the fragment side and not able to charge up your Evo shields, not able to get loot. You're constantly wasting resources, and also you're not running Watson anymore, so that's not even an option in your play style. But it was LG on the Caustic, Sonya putting on an amazing performance. You saw all the guys doing very well, but 3 out of the top 4 teams today are going to be from the EU side. Team Intel from our partner team is going to win that one today. Pringles finds themselves on the left-hand side of the leaderboard too, though, during Pringles week, so not too shabby for these guys and a good week overall.
Yeah, so that's week 2 of the Series E season done and dusted. We still have plenty more action, so make sure you're back here next Tuesday if you love Series E and you want to support our initiative here, and of course all of our partner teams. That's going to do it for us. So everyone here, from everyone here at Esports Arena, from Tom and myself, thank you all for tuning in. We will see you guys next week. Have fun in Season 7.
Stack Pringles flavors. Make new ones.
How much do you think Pringles paid these people?
Hardly anything. Hey, you guys want to stack different Pringles flavors to create new flavor combos? Here, I'll go first. Pizza, barbecue, and jalapeno. The spicy barbecue pizza stack. Get him!
Grandpa, what's going on?
Pringles. We're trapped in a Pringles commercial. They must have taken us in our sleep.
How can we get out?
We can't, Summer. They warned me this would happen and I didn't listen. Stack Pringles, make endless new flavors. Stacking Pringles to make new flavors. Make endless new flavors. Barbecue, wavy, and sour cream and onion equals a 3-layer dip stack.